I'm on time and of course muted. What else is new? What else is new, fellas? Man, let me quickly check something that I should have checked before, but I'm retarded. And it's not okay. It is connected. Okay, I just checking my. Why is why am I Walschrat 383 in my chat thingy? Why? Why am I not my channel name? Don't care. No, we don't care. We don't care, chat. Because if we would start caring, we would go insane. And we don't want to go insane. What we want to do is produce some content. Oh, I have to get a little bigger. And there I am, a little bigger. That's women like it when you get a little bigger. And yes, I couldn't resist. Just like this retard here can't resist to stir up shit. And do you see this? This is something we're gonna react to right now. Right now. Because we have retard alert. Retard alert. Man, some people are so dumb. They don't know when to stop.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So it looks like the joke is on me once again because, well, I went to Twitter and I'm seeing a bunch of drama involving VTubers and also the concept of the height of consent coming back in a...
Height of consent? So you saying that people, women under a certain height can't give consent? Then why are they allowed to vote? If they can't give consent. So basically what you're telling, all people that are small are mentally retarded. That's fundamentally what they are saying. How progressive. How progressive of them.
Bunch of other infantilizing things that will make your mind explode with how stupid and ridiculous people are with their projection. But let's begin with the VTuber Saba, who is obviously a very
great one. Saba is great. Now I don't watch her streams, I only watch clips because I don't watch streams anymore. Mostly. But she's good. She's doing good work. Awesome work. That's why she's successful.
Popular indie VTuber, who's also Gargura. I know, you're not supposed to point this out. She hinted at this for months, like, let's get over it.
Hinting. They literally have the same voice.
We know who she is, and the hatred of Gargura and the insane schizo posting regarding her has transferred over to her Saba account. And here's a good example of that. So this person, a VTuber, says petite women look nothing like actual children. You can have a model that looks like a literal child do emoto ASMR and then complain about people saying you're pedo baiting. You are. So clearly this person who also posts stuff like this.
Who could have guessed? So I guess she's pedo baiting too, which isn't a surprise. She's a woman.
Really is the authority on what's appropriate or not when it comes to fictional VTuber models. But anyways, this person says Saba, for example, her not safe for work art is actually effing sickening. That's a child. And the original poster says, oh my god, yes. And she heavily encourages that stuff too. Citation needed.
These women, and let's be honest, they are a woman, are just jealous that they don't get the attention. That's all what this is about. If they would get the same attention, they would literally do the same. They wouldn't. And the same as Zaba. They don't care. They don't actually care. They just pretend. Because that's what they always do.
And then she says, I got flames for being openly against her model. Like people don't realize they are actively self-reporting by being into this stuff. I open Twitter and simply search Saba, just be met with adult content live on my stream. Well, that's your fault. Yeah. Why are you looking up stuff like that live on your stream? You have nothing else better to do? Why would you search any VTuber on Twitter? Because you're going to be met with art that is probably not safe for work.
Yes, exactly. That's the same as looking up a VTuber pictures on Google. Of course you find smut. Of course you do. Rule 34. Hello?
Like, that's just the reality of the scene. Like, are you new here? What's going on? But of course, people are mocking the very easy realization of what's going on here. Basically saying, you're the one looking at a sexualized lolly art, or sexualized lolly art, and thinking about kids. Yes, the projection is real. It happens every single time. These people see a fictional character like Saba and their model, and they immediately start thinking about children. It's a self-report. They're talking about self-reports, but they're the ones self-reporting. Now, that previous person, this VTuber, would post a chart of proportions on human beings, and this person would reply with the simplest reply possible, saying, these are for actual human children, not anime characters. Nice cope, though. And this person, this VTuber, would respond by basically saying, yep, that's me, to the tune of 0 likes. And they would continue on.
It's very obvious that that's not a real person, because a real person with those proportions, how would the neck support this head? Just think about that. The head must be absolutely heavy as F. And look at this tiny neck. Look at my proportions. Do you see this neck? It's nice and thick, holding up this massive head. This is... Zaba's anatomy would be impossible for a human. She would die. Literally, her neck would snap.
Saying, okay, listen me up. You can tell like their hands were quivering. They were so upset. They couldn't even type this out properly. They were so shook by what's going on. Someone daring to question their worldview. Okay, listen me up. What would you consider youthful or childlike on Saba's model? Spoiler, you can't. It's a child. Give me anything that makes this model look even remotely older than 13.
It's not real, but yeah, those people can't make a difference between reality and fiction because they're retarded. And now we do something. Gremlin. Lin. Eh? Is that correct? No. Here we go. Oh, 672 subscribers, 112 videos. Jealousy. It's jealousy. 100% jealousy. And nothing but jealousy. Nothing but jealousy. Last posted 1 month ago. And then... Do you see this? She barely posts anything. This literal who which doesn't post anything, is complaining about someone more successful because, well, she's a woman, of course she's complaining. I mean, there's literally nothing else to say about this. A woman complaining about a different other woman that is more successful. Oh, I wonder what's going on here. But yeah, she's a literal who that barely does anything. Does she have a Twitch? No. So she is on Twitter and she basically doesn't produce any content. Yeah. Checks out.
Well, I'm glad this random Twitter user is the arbiter of what is appropriate or not when it comes to fictional characters. It's always jealousy, man. Like,
yeah,
it's always these small follower VTubers, and there's nothing wrong with being small, but it's always smaller accounts that are attacking the bigger ones like Saba.
The thing is, it's literally nothing bad about being a small YouTuber or whatever. Of course there's nothing wrong with that. But if you then go and out of jealousy try to pull other people down to your level, then, you know, yeah, you are the trash. Oh, and I just see that she has a Twitch, which is not linked on her YouTube profile, which you always should do. I have that too, of course. From the Netherlands, yeah. I bet she never had any problems in her life.
They're trying to get
Real
clout.
problems.
It's not working. Like, I don't cover people that I think will gain something from the attention. I know this person will gain nothing from this attention.
Oh yeah.
Right? In fact, I tell you this. Don't even go to this person's account. Do not
Too late.
try to flame them. Just enjoy this video. Comment
We do.
on YouTube on this video. And that's it. Don't visit their account. Don't bother with them because they want the attention. And the attention they're going to receive, but it's not going to turn out the way they want. They're not going to get any support. It's not going to transform their career into something that matters. We've seen this happen.
She doesn't have a career. But Saba does.
With Saba/Gargura for many, many years. And it's a lot of self-reports, projection, and seething jealousy. But let's move on to the other portion of this video. The height of consent strikes again, ladies and gentlemen. In the worst way imaginable. So we have this.
Is there a good way to imagine it? Streams every Thursday. Come watch me. Sydney, Australia.
Cosplayer named Chu, who is getting attacked.
Oh, of
based
course.
on this photo. Her height is being called pedo bait. And she says, I literally have no control over the fact that I stopped growing at the age of 12. And this is a photo with her, and I'm assuming her cameraman.
Cameraman, husband, we don't know. Could be a lot.
Look out!
And by the way, there are a lot of Chinese ethnic groups that are tiny. For example, if I go to the Philippines, I will tower over almost everyone. Not because I'm specifically very tall, but because the people there are way smaller than Germans. It's just that, for example, in ancient times, you know, the ancient Germans, they were on average one head taller than the Italians, you know, the ones that invaded our lands. Yeah, that's just how it is. It's genetics. And of course, retarded people don't understand things like that because they're retarded.
This person quotes them saying, "It's objectively more pedophilic to find a sub 5 foot 20 plus Asian foid attractive than a sexually..." I'm not reading that.
A sexually mature white 15-year-old girl. This person is retarded. Dr. Lindy, I guess that's... If that's her, then yeah, it's a woman. Oh yeah, a jealous old white woman is complaining about an attractive tiny Asian woman. Oh, who could have guessed? Who could have guessed?
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing and reminding you of the normal people on Twitter. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Here's another cosplayer named Toki saying, "I hate to sound like a broken record, but genuinely it never ends. I'm 23 years old and people will ask why I'm dressing like a kid as if I'm not cosplaying. I don't know, are small people not allowed to cosplay? I'm just tired because I have to talk about it every few months." So she's cosplaying as...
Just don't bother with retarded people. It's that simple. Hey Jesse, we are doing a lot of reacts. A lot of reacts. Oh, you got a Striven 103 in War Thunder? Nice. Oh, you can research it. Still nice. Still nice. We're gonna play that on Friday. So far we had two tiny VTubers that basically don't do anything, complaining about Zaba being pedobait. And now we are at the point where, oh, if you are under a certain height, you can't consent. AKA a lot of Asian women can't consent because they're small.
The VTuber Mints. And people responded by saying, "Stop sending kids. Bro, she's older than me. She's dressed like a kid." Yeah, I didn't know that kids wear like garter belts or stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
this is like insane levels of projection. Yeah, the maid outfit, by the way, and the garter belts. Yeah, I'm glad.
Why does a maid outfit and garter belts immediately make him think of children? Because he is the pedo. He wants to see kids in that. I remember I've seen a elementary school girl, maybe 8 years old, 2 years ago or something like that. Here walking around the corner. I came from a walk, was on the way home. I saw the girl. She was wearing a top and hot pants, and the top left her belly free. And I was like, yeah, no, I would never allow my daughter to run around like that. Never. Because that literally is pedobait. That literally is making the pedos look at her. Why would you as a parent allow your 8-year-old daughter to go outside on the street half naked, to school half naked? Why would you? That's disgusting. It's something else if, you know, your daughter wears a bikini or a swimsuit, goes in a garden, playing in the pool. That's something completely different than going on the street like that.
Other people like realize how ridiculous this is, but let's move on to another example involving another person in real life, this time the popular singer Sabrina Carpenter. who has been attacked.
For what?
For, well, let's read why.
Being short?
Sabrina was designed to show every woman in America who their husband truly is, who their fathers truly are, who their neighbor is. She was a Disney girl, same as all the Smex kittens, but this one is very unique in certain ways, especially her height at child-sized.
Oh my god. So all the people, all the little people, you know, the dwarves, they're all child-sized? They're all children in your eyes? Because they are child-sized. But I also have seen 13-year-olds taller than me. And even when I still was 5'11", I have seen 13-year-olds that were taller than me. 13, 14-year-old girls, not boys, girls, taller than me. 14 years old. And they say, oh, she's too small, she's a child. That dumb fat bitch there, you know, Jennifer, you stupid, retarded, fat bitch. Shut your mouth. Go back and fuck your dog.
These women who operate in this way were not only lab-grown, but they remain the same bite-size attraction with songs like Man-Child, because they say it's true when a man sees their inner PDF file comes a-running. This is a major fact we've seen a gazillion times. Ladies, this is the fantasy. 2025 is a travesty.
I bet she believes man can become woman and woman can become man.
I mean, I could zoom in on this profile picture, but it really explains a lot. So yeah, apparently, being
jealousy.
short, that's a crime. And at one point being an actor as a kid, that's also a crime. And you're unlovable for the rest of your life. Dang, that sucks. That's rough. Now, speaking of infantilization that we've seen, I saw this post go viral, okay? And this...
A 20-year-old tried hitting on me. Well, how old are you? That's nothing wrong. If a 20-year-old girl would try to hit on me, man, I would think like, yeah, she wants my money. which I don't have money, but you know, maybe maybe she grew up without a father, most likely.
This GIF has been used many times in the worst ways imaginable. This person says, a 20-year-old tried hitting on me. So this has the potential to be a very concerning statement. How old is this user where a 20-year-old is hitting on them? They're 25.
25.
They're crashing out as a she-they 25-year-old because a 20-year-old was hitting on them.
When I was 19, I had a girlfriend that was 25. Well, girlfriend. We dated a little. So what? She's retarded. Which isn't... I mean... She has her pronouns in her profile. And her sign, her star sign, so... Of course she's retarded.
Caleb Hammer. You might know this guy. He quoted it saying, she's 25, by the way, our culture has gotten very weird very quickly. So infantilized. Very true. And we have this reply saying, how is it infantilized to not want to be a predator? And they got hit with a note saying a 20-year-old is not a human child nor a prepubescent human being. A predator is a person attracted to prepubescent human beings.
See, this is what happens if you make words mean different things than they actually meant. This is what happens. People don't know what words mean anymore. And they just use them without knowing what they actually mean. Because they are dumb.
It's sad we have to note people like this to make them understand that a 20-year-old is not a child. That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very, very sad reality we live in.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for today. This is just a mind-melting stuff. I could go on, but this is all I can handle, and probably all you can handle. So
Yeah.
that's gonna do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics
Man, this
in the
was
comment
stupid.
section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
This was so dumb. The video was good, but man, those women are so dumb. So dumb. Oh my god, that video already has 7 views? Nice. Nice. My coffee pot doesn't work on. Crap. Yeah. Man, I wish people weren't this dumb. I wish, but sadly people are this dumb. So I have to deal with them. But we have to deal with them. All these stupid people. Ridiculous stuff. Oh, this is from 2 years ago. Yeah. Oh. Best friend birthday gift.
For I get you by my side.
Yeah, I better not have music. Yeah. And then they stand away from the woman at the end. Oh my god. Poor guys. Poor guys. Man. Let's go, and where do we have? Watch later. That's where we want to go. We watched this already. We're gonna watch this one. It's 1 year old already, but we're gonna watch this. Oh my god. We even turn off the music. This is going to be good. Very good. 1080p. Exactly how we want it. Oh, I was muted. Of course I was muted. No, I am the stupid one. I said, look at them. They look stupid. Which they do. I mean, and especially, you know, she has a nose ring. And look at these glasses. Disgusting.
She's a conehead under there.
She does, with her big, smart brain that knows more than you.
Can we talk about the fact that we saw Coneheads yesterday? Chris was laughing his ass off the
Not
whole
true,
time.
Zach.
He was clapping.
No, that actually happened, Lyle. We actually did watch Coneheads yesterday, and Chris didn't want to watch it, but he was smiling his
I was smiling at how annoying it was.
Why were you clapping your dumpy at how funny it was?
We're missing the story over coneheads, you fuckers.
That's a Conehead.
That's Maya Bird.
That's Maya
The
Bird.
Why
judge.
is it introduced?
This is the judge.
No one cares.
That looks like an alien.
Nothing like a trip down memory lane.
What is that?
Wait,
What is
where
that?
did that come from? Well, boy, shucks and howdy.
She's doing that sweet summer
I
child
was
shit.
such a baby. Bro, see, there's me.
That is Lyle. Look, you're looking at her with hate, Lyle.
You can't do that. I never hurt anyone.
Just yourself.
I never hurt no one by stealing.
Yeah, one of the most retarded things you could say. I never hurt anyone. I just took the wallet, took the phone, took the car. I didn't hurt anyone. Dumb woman. Oh, we are almost 1 minute in. Oh my god, this is going to be painful.
All I did was steal people's property. Steal the things they worked hard for.
You have so much
Potential?
No.
I can do so much more with my life.
No.
No.
No,
No, you can't. You can't. You're too dumb.
you're
No,
a
why would you
loser.
think she would say that?
No. The crime for the punishment
No,
for
actually,
actually,
I've got your number psychologically,
no,
and
you
I
should
know.
be sent to the electric chair.
I'm going to give you an early present.
This is the plot of 8 Crazy Nights.
Davey, you were the best basketball player.
This is literally 8 Crazy Nights.
You won't get it.
She literally said in the spirit of Christmas.
Next time you end up in front of me, I will not be as lenient. We clear?
Oh, so they got a little rapport. Oh, it's you again,
Yeah.
stealing, you smurf.
Yeah, it's almost like she's living in Germany. If you commit crimes here, you don't go to prison unless you're white. Literally.
Dirty little stealing smurf.
You dirty little stealing smurf.
Dirty little stealing conehead.
Happy almost birthday.
What did she
Too
say?
late to start using your gifts to help others.
What
Thanks,
gifts?
Oprah.
What gifts? What gifts? What is she talking about? No one knows.
Thank you, Reddit. Happy almost birthday. Happy almost cake day.
Happy cake day!
Happy cake day, Smurfette.
That was close. That judge might have just saved my ass. Won't get that lucky again.
Why did you say any of that?
Yeah, makes zero sense.
we know. We saw what
Hey,
happened.
excuse me.
Excuse me, actually nice.
Here's your.
Wait a minute, I should have stole that,
Judge may
You
have a
gotta look
point,
at-
but it's not like I can just change who I. Yes, you can. Not like you can
What? That judge may have had a point, but it's not like I can just change who I am. Yeah, literally you can. You literally can. Stop stealing, get a job. There. And if I get caught one more time, my life is over. Which is why I gotta get the hell out of town. Okay? The character really is dumb. Most likely because the writers are retarded.
just change my. And if I get caught one more time, my life is over. Which is why I gotta get the hell out of town.
Just the
Or you can get like a job.
Okay, no. Sorry, we can't do this. This is too painful. Them blubbering all the time is too much. It's too much. We can't. We watched this yesterday. It was great. Are they finally listening? Oh. Yeah, we're gonna watch this one. When I'm not mistaken, it's about game developers.
So Nintendo's getting investigated. Ubisoft came out and said, yeah, our last Assassin's Creed game may have flopped, but also, we totally won. And Square Enix is laying off hundreds of people in the West, all
Yeah,
within the
good.
last 2 weeks. And I am sitting here thinking, okay, what timeline is this? Because for years, these massive companies have felt completely untouchable. They would make whatever decisions they wanted, we would complain, give feedback, vote with our wallets, and it just didn't really matter. We would point out problems and get told that we were the problem. Gaming
Well, yes, because of all the activists in these companies. And everyone was telling the investors that, yeah, this is what people want. But it's not. And now investors are losing money. And now they're like, yeah, you people all have to go. But that doesn't mean that, you know, BlackRock changes, because they won't. Because they want the audience to like this. They want to create the audience that likes that stuff. Because they are in on it. On it. If you know, you know. World Economic Forum. Ooh.
journalists would write these long articles explaining why actually we were in the wrong and didn't understand game development. Studios would then double down on the exact things we hated. But something is different now, and
And
we
then
have
no one
been
would buy
watching
them.
this shift happen over the last year or two, but the past 2 weeks,
Trump.
big things are happening, so let's get into it. Well, it's been 2 months since my last Nintendo check-in, and Even though it has been a rocky relationship for me, like the crazy ex-girlfriend I am, I have been keeping up with Nintendo on all of the latest regarding their patent wars. Like I said in previous videos, I kept thinking, there is no way that this can continue to get worse, but then I watched Nintendo get more bullish with their lawsuit and sue over very basic mechanics like throwing and capturing characters, summoning characters, and mounting creatures. But truly, it gets darkest before the dawn, because just recently we learned that the US Patent Office announced that they are investigating some of Nintendo's patents. That is right. Palworld now has the full power of America on its side. In the old days, Nintendo flexes their legal team, their opponent can't afford the fight, and it's game over. The big company wins. Except that is not what happened here. Players have been incredibly vocal. Players bought the competition and loved it. Palworld sold over 25 million copies, and voices on the internet like Legal Mindset have been reporting and calling out how
25 million times, I think a game costs $30. That's 60 mil. They are 70 million? Around that? 70 million? Almost? That's a lot of money.
Messed up this whole situation is. Some gaming journalists have been wringing their hands about it though. One IP attorney actually said that it is debatable whether giving power to people on the internet who scream loudly is a good thing for the industry. When a company tries to patent basic mechanics that have existed for decades, that is something that people should be loud about. That is legitimate criticism of patent abuse and what should happen when companies try to weaponize a system to eliminate competition. Players noticed, legal experts noticed, the patent office noticed, and now Nintendo has to actually defend why they should own basic game mechanics. Hint, they shouldn't.
Yeah, it's just like EA owning the what was it called? They had a system for Lord of the Rings game. I don't even remember. I literally don't remember. Oh my god, I'm so old. I don't remember that game. I even played it a little bit, then I refunded it because the FOV was so horrible that it gave me a migraine.
Didn't stop there. Pocket Pair has doubled down and announced their what? Their version of Animal Crossing with Pal Farm. Hoyoverse has announced.
Awesome. Good. I hope they sell another 25 million.
Petite Planet, and I am still mad that I can't seem to get into the coziness beta. Hello? And you guys already know how I feel about Animo, and I'm sure there are dozens of other indie devs who have been sitting.
Why does this look so... yeah, whatever. Why? This doesn't even look intriguing. Maybe if I were a child, yeah. Maybe then. But then even the title is boring. The design of this is boring.
On creature sims, creature collector ideas, just waiting to see what happens with this lawsuit. Now they're actually going to be able to make their games, because if Nintendo's patents collapse, innovation gets completely unchained, and this becomes a huge win for the rest of the industry. But don't worry, Nintendo is still getting their lawsuit fixed. They recently won a case against a pirate live streamer who had been rage baiting them for years. And when he was ordered to pay Nintendo over 17 grand, his response was, "You might run a corporation, but I run the streets." Even just on the game development side of things, I saw so many fans express massive disappointment in Pokemon Legends EA. I saw players...
Because the game is shit? This game is literal trash. I have not seen anything good about this game. Not once, one single bit. The game looks bad. It's very restrictive as far as I have seen, and it's a regression in gameplay. Complete regression. This is horrible. It's a horrible game.
calling it out for feeling really cheap despite the $70 price tag. With flat graphics, no voice acting, a map so
it's
small
a $10
you can
game.
technically sprint around it in under 7 minutes. The whole game takes place in one city with some copy-pasted buildings everywhere. Fans who loved Arceus for its sense of exploration and variety were now getting endless tutorials in a repetitive urban setting instead, and somehow a game that brought back Mega Evolution didn't include legendaries that actually have Mega Evolutions. And
Wait. They're adding the Mega Evolutions back as a DLC for $40. So to have the full game, you have to pay $90. And the game is not even good. It's still trash. Who could have guessed? Typical Nintendo.
That actually have
at this point
Mega Evolutions. And I won't lie to you, even now, after everything that has happened, it still feels wrong to root against the company that I grew up on, fell in love with, and is what got me into gaming.
You aren't really rooting against the company, you're rooting against the people that run the company
in the first place. But they figured out weaponized nostalgia and just ran with it, forcing us to use their online services in order to access old titles, paying $60 for Skyward Sword HD, when it was literally the same game from 2011. Not being able to access any of their music legally on any platform except their own, which I think they just launched like last year. For a long time,
yeah, tech-wise, Nintendo is so far behind because they're Japanese. When it comes to everything internet, the Japanese are behind. At least they were until, I don't know, 10 years ago. Their websites literally look like websites from the 90s. Well, at least the last time I have seen anything from there.
I got used to all that control, and that was that. Then Palworld showed up and did something familiar, but pushed it somewhere new, and we loved it. It's not to spite Nintendo, it was just a lot of fun. It tried something different. We noticed that other companies were actually innovating.
Well, yes. Oh, look, a good game comes out with mechanics of a different game. Yeah, oh, who could have guessed that might be fun? Who could have guessed? They made just a good game and people liked it. I mean, that's all that there is to it.
Trying new things, improving, and I think that's when Nintendo panicked. They thought nostalgia alone would just keep us loyal forever, but we started choosing innovation over nostalgia, and that terrified them. Now, if you think Nintendo—
It's not even innovation, it's just simply better. That's enough. Just be better than Nintendo, which isn't hard when it comes to Pokemon. Now we will see with the new Metroid Prime at the next Zelda, but you know, we have to wait.
Nintendo's situation is wild. Just wait until you hear about what's been going on with Ubisoft. But before we get to that, I wanted to show you guys my brand new PC, and I thought that I would get a little help from another NPC to show it off. This is the Voyager 3 Elite from Starforge Systems, and I am incredibly attached to it already. As you have probably already guessed, I love purple, and this case definitely delivers.
Purple is nice.
Lavender glow, plum shadows, neon accents, cute little jellyfish and city signs, the whole cyberpunk aesthetic.
Oh, I like this one. I like that one very much.
I also now have a whole waifu inside my computer, and she is lovely. I mean, just look at her. Those big eyes, that pastel hair, the neon...
The big eyes, sure, the eyes.
On accents that match the purple glow so perfectly. It is peak cozy cyberpunk. Plus, my setup has never been this nice, and I just keep finding myself zoning out, staring at it like it is the final episode of my comfort anime. But beyond looking like a beautiful lo-fi neon dream, this thing is also super powerful. I'll be honest, you guys know I am not a tech person, but I am so excited to say that this PC has an Intel i9 and an RTX 5090, which means I can finally—
Oh no, Intel processor, oh.
play and edit on the same machine without it sounding like it is about to launch into orbit. And who knows, you might even see a sneaky stream or two in the near future. Now, does a pretty PC make me better at games?
No.
Unfortunately not, but it does make losing way more aesthetically pleasing. She is so beautiful. I think I'm gonna have to name her. So drop your ideas in the comments, and thank you so much.
Why does she have the same socks like my dolls? That's
much to
dangerous.
Starforge for this gorgeous computer, and thank you so much to all of you. None of this would be even possible without all of your love and support, so thank you so much. If you would like to check out their PC options, the link is in the description below. Now, to get us back on track, this past week, the Ubisoft CEO came out and said they won the battle against the backlash of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let me say that again.
But I thought it flopped. So how did they win?
Their stock has now dropped over 90% over the last few years. The game undersold, and their response is, we won. I am sorry. What?
Of course.
This whole situation is still so mind-boggling to me because fans had been begging for a Japanese.
What do you mean haters? You mean everyone that didn't buy the game? Because there are a lot of people that didn't buy the game because it's trash.
Assassin's Creed for years. Like, this was the most requested setting in the entire franchise. This game should have been a slam dunk and is something that they actively had to work to mess it up.
The Japanese culture is so unique and awesome that of course people love it and would love an awesome game in it, of course. I mean, that's not hard. Everyone would love this. But, you know, you have to actually make something good and not this.
Between the execution issues and the self-inflicted historical accuracy controversies, they somehow turned their most requested setting into their biggest fumble. Do you remember when Ubisoft was the studio? Splinter Cell, early Assassin's Creed, Far Cry 3, Rayman. When did Ubisoft game become a...
Far Cry 3? Gameplay awesome. The main characters, the good people, trash. I hated them. I wanted to see them all die. Because they are so unlikable.
Warning to players instead of a promise. After gaslighting us this past year with the X amount of players, strong pre-orders, etc., we have come to find out that this game has sold worse than their last 5 AC games, including Mirage, which, I don't know, I actually thought...
Assassin's Creed Mirage? I've never heard of that. Now I'm really worried.
That one was okay. But what did the CEO say? He said we had to stop focusing on those who hated us. Sir, the haters were just your customers.
Yeah.
And people who just wanted the game to be good. They had been requesting this setting for years. They wanted it to succeed. You made choices that prioritized messaging over actual game.
For example, the black dude that they claimed existed, which turns out he never did. How do I know? I have seen a video, you know, apparently Japanese archivists, you know, the people that work in archives, have looked up this guy and haven't found any traces of him at all, anywhere in Japan. No documents about him at all. He's completely made up.
And when people called it out, you blame them for noticing. That is not haters. That's just consequences. And after years of $60 to $70 games launching broken with promises to patch it later, after the same tired open world checklist formula since 2012, after games as a service that nobody wanted, the NFT disaster that everyone forgot, Skull and Bones, after...
Wait, did Ubisoft make games with NFTs? I don't remember. Because the NFT stuff was over within 1 year, I think, right? 1 year there was, oh, NFTs, and then it was just over. Just over. No one was even talking about it anymore.
Being told to get comfortable not owning our games, after being called toxic when we asked for better.
Which, by the way, is exactly what the World Economic Forum wants. They want you to be, they're pay slaves. You own nothing. You won't have freedom and you will be happy.
Shadows launched, looking like more of the same, just wrapped in self-inflicted controversy. We just played something else, and the CEO calls this winning. Here is where it gets even wilder. Tencent, yeah, that Tencent, just put over $1 billion into Ubisoft to fund the subsidiary that houses Assassin's Creed and a lot of their big franchises. But at the same time, they are cutting Western studios loose left and right, laying off
Because the Western studios are all trash. They've only produced trash in the past 10 years. So of course they fire them all. Yeah. Yeah. Why is anyone surprised that the people that produce only trash that doesn't make money getting fired? Yeah, that's how things work. Duh.
People at Shark Mob completely shutting down the outsiders. One of their VPs literally said there might be less investment in some areas in the West, which is just corporate speak for, yeah, we're backing away. So Ubisoft is getting money from a company that is actively giving up on Western studios. Make it make sense. And just days after their CEO claimed they won, Ubisoft delayed their earnings report and halted share trading because nothing says victory quite like that. But if you do think that their collapse is dramatic, Square Enix's actions this week show exactly what happens when publishers finally start doing the math. This week, Square Enix announced massive layoffs across their Western studios and staff members. And when you look at what they have been doing—
Good. Good. They should do that. The people in the West that work for them are trash. You don't want to make a good product that people want to play. They want to create a messaging board for their political agenda. Because they're all communists. And they want to destroy the West. That's literally their goal. How do I know? They say it.
In the last 2 years, the pattern is pretty obvious. They sold Crystal Dynamics, which is actually going through more layoffs right now, and Eidos Montreal, the studios that made Tomb Raider and Deus Ex, for just $300 million. They shut down Luminous Productions, and now hundreds more layoffs. Meanwhile—
Wait, Luminous Productions still existed? I thought they closed down after they released their Black Girl game.
their Japanese studios are a bit more mixed. Final Fantasy XVI did pretty well, and I know people either loved or hated this one. I actually really loved it. I think the depth of the lore in the story and the voice acting was extremely well done, but we have definitely seen some mixed feedback on the Final Fantasy VII remake and Stranger of Paradise. So what is going on? I think that Square Enix looked at their numbers and realized that their Western teams were failing on basically every level. First, the creative stuff. Localization teams were, let's just say, sometimes taking liberties, changing dialogue, altering character personalities, and inserting things that weren't in the original Japanese version.
Yes, because they want to destroy the culture and society. That's the goal here. And how do you do it? By manipulating everything. It's very simple.
Japanese developers would make a game, it would go through Western localization, and some things that came out on the other end were different. Sometimes really different, and players would complain about weird dialogue or characters acting strange, and the original developers would be like, well, wait, we didn't write that. Then there's the money. Western AAA teams got absurdly bloated, talking hundreds of people, projects taking 5 to 7 years, burning budgets that could fund entire countries. Do you remember Forspoken? That cost $150 million and sold maybe 3 million copies, and then the studio was disbanded. Or what about—
if it even sold 3 million copies? If that.
Marvel's Avengers. It's a $170 million budget and was shut down after 2 years. Compare that to something like Elden Ring, which had 200 people, 4 years, still a huge budget, maybe 150 to 200 million, but it sold 25 million copies, and Square Enix noticed that. They also noticed that they started to lose a lot of money when it came to their Western projects. They noticed that games like Clair Obscur captured hearts and wallets in the West.
Clair Obscur. I have heard that name, but I don't remember.
While citing that they took heavy inspiration from old Final Fantasy games. They literally met with the developers after seeing how crazy successful that game was, and behavior is a language, and they seem to be changing their tune. They are out here studying player feedback, what is working, why players are showing up for things, and their response has been to bring everything back to Japan, have full creative control with smaller, focused teams, no more localization surprises, no more 7-year development cycles for games that nobody wanted, just to make good games and actually listen to what players are responding to. And honestly, I do think that this could be a big turning point for Square Enix. It'll be very interesting to see where—
The thing is, if you develop a game for 7 years, it has to make a ton of money. If that game doesn't make $500 million, you've wasted your money. But how does a game like that make so much money? It has to cost a lot and has to sell very well. Now, if the game is woke trash, then it won't. It's very, very simple. If all the characters, all the women in the game are ugly as hell, then you immediately know, yeah, men don't want to play that, and women also don't want to play it because they don't wanna. No one wants to look at ugly women. It's that simple. No one wants to look at ugly women, and especially in a story that is bad and talks down to you all the time and mocks you for who you are, which games from the West do these days. Absolutely. That's why they flop.
Final Fantasy goes from here, and the projects that they do decide to invest time and money on,
Oh,
I
she's
hope
cute.
that it will be games that respect our time instead of trying to appeal to the modern audience and be everything to everyone. I have talked before about my love for Eastern developers, and like I said, Eastern devs will continue to swoop in and outperform Western AAA because it is really about who is respecting and building for players. Of course, they also want to make a profit, but they are paying attention to
Making a profit is not the problem here. It's actually the thing that makes their games so good. Because to make a profit, they make a product that people want to buy. Unlike the Western studios.
what is working and are asking the question, what do players want? Time and time again, we see Western AAA assume it knows better and then add a bunch of stuff that nobody asked for while building for an audience that's by and large not showing up. One approach works, the other gets
Because it doesn't exist. The audience they're building these games for doesn't exist.
see massive layoffs. And listen, I do feel bad for the hundreds of people who are losing their jobs. I'm sure that there are definitely some hardworking and extremely passionate devs out there who unfortunately do get swept up in this. But from a player perspective, companies are finally responding to what we have been saying for years. Make games that are actually fun. Stop designing by committee, stop inserting agendas, stop bloating everything, just make good games. Larian and Sandfall are Western studios that are crushing it because they understand this. It is not about geography as much as it is a studio's priorities. Square Enix is restructuring because players voted with their wallets. We bought the games that worked and we skipped the ones that didn't, and now they are adjusting. And that is how it should work. I don't know how we got into this place where these companies forgot that it is actually players that hold the power here. And
how did we get here? Because the people that want to control everything want to change society. So that's how we get here. And yes, conspiracy theory.
companies like Square Enix are finally starting to remember. And it is not just Square Enix that is noticing this pattern. Japan as a whole is drawing a line in the sand with this. Recently, Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry, METI, proposed new policy guidelines, and one principle stood out: no interference in the content of creative works. An entire country's government looked at what has been happening to Japanese games and anime in the West and said, no more. Between localization teams rewriting their games and Western payment processors pressuring content platforms, Japan has decided they need to protect their creators' freedom of expression. This is bigger than just—
Yes, protect your culture from the influence from the outside. Yes, every country should do that.
To one publisher that's deciding to restructure. This is an entire nation saying our creative vision matters and we are not letting it get diluted anymore. That's a massive shift in how Japan approaches global expansion, protecting their creative identity while growing overseas. 3 companies, 3 wake-up calls, same week. So why does this feel different? Why does it actually feel like things are changing this time? I think it's because the consequences are finally real. Like, actually real. Ubisoft stock down 90%. Square Enix panic selling studios, Nintendo getting investigated by the US Patent Office. That is not, oh no, our feelings. That is, oh no, our money level consequences. We have options now.
You have to grab them by the balls, and the balls are all made of money.
You don't like what Nintendo is doing? You can play Palworld. If Ubisoft stuff is feeling stale, there are literally hundreds of other open world games to choose from.
I haven't bought an Ubisoft game in... The last one I bought was The Division 2. I have no memory when that came out. 5 years ago, maybe? And before that, I think The Division 1. I have a type.
Square Enix not doing it for you anymore? Indie JRPGs and Asian studios are putting out absolute bangers. Plus, and this is a big one, gaming media can't just tell us what to think anymore. When Ubisoft says, we won...
Because they don't exist anymore. I think 80% of all the gaming journalists have lost their jobs at this point. And I hope the rest will follow, because they're trash.
We can immediately just pull up their stock price and player counts and go, did you though? When Nintendo says their lawsuit makes sense, we can watch actual lawyers break down why it's nonsense. The information is just there for everyone.
Which is
but
good.
Here's what actually...
And that's what the globalists don't want. They don't like that. They don't want us to have information. And yes, conspiracy theory
gets me excited about all of this, even though it is a little bit doom and gloom, because it is not just watching stuff fall apart. We are watching something new get built. We have seen many indie devs now prove that you can make hundreds of millions by just respecting players and making a complete game that people love. Palworld sold 25 million copies by taking something familiar and then just pushing it somewhere new. Clair Obscura got people hyped by doing what the old Final Fantasy did so well, and Square Enix noticed. They literally met with those devs to figure out why players cared so much. Games that were maybe shelved because companies...
Why did they care? Because the games were bad. That's just it. The old games were better than the new ones, so they complained.
Companies were too scared to compete with Nintendo. They're going to be back in development, and players are showing up with their wallets wide open to support them. The fact that all three of these things happened in the same week, I don't think that's a coincidence. The shift is definitely speeding up, and companies can't just hide behind the PR spin anymore because we all just talk to each other directly. Now look, there will definitely be more disasters, more CEOs saying tone-deaf stuff, more companies that just do not get it, but for the first time in forever, there are actual big consequences happening. Billion-dollar losses, studio shutdowns, federal investigations. Some of these companies are panicking because they forgot something really important. They work for us.
They didn't forget that, they ignored it. Or they never... The thing is, the old guard knew. The old guard wanted to make games for... making games, things that people want to play. The new guard, they want to indoctrinate you politically. That's the difference.
They exist because we give them money, and if they can't respect that, then we will just continue to give our time and money to someone who will. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for being here. And what are your thoughts on all of this? Have you noticed any other examples of companies finally having to face reality? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye. Good video. Really good video. And yes, I have recognized. As far as I know, all the car companies going back with their electronics in their cars because they're fucking dangerous. Okay. I will quickly go and take a leak, and then we continue our reaction marathon for today. Oh, pain. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I brought a blanket because it's cold. It's cold. So cold. So cold. Okay. Ow. We watched all of these. Oh, we haven't. Oh. We're gonna watch this one. Made my girlfriend play Half-Life. Oh, this is gonna be funny. This is going to be funny.
Going into the game with next to zero expectations, it's easy.
No, we start from the beginning.
Oh my god. This is not how I wanted my first day on the job to go.
I used to joke with my girlfriend back when Baldur's Gate 3 was announced that we'd get married when it came out. But now that that deadline is come and gone, I've facetiously switched to saying the new deadline is when Half-Life 3 gets released.
Just marry her and get her pregnant.
These things, they take time.
Unfortunately, the humor of that sentiment is lost on her since she doesn't even know what that means. So to let her in on the joke, this week we're having her play through Half-Life.
This automated train is provided for
getting GLaDOS vibes.
My thought process for having her play through this game was pretty.
Man, I saw the train going and I immediately felt nostalgia. I immediately felt so good. It was so cozy, like I'm 16 again. I was just sitting here and I go, yeah, beautiful. And then I remembered how playing the game was. The last time I played it, a couple of weeks ago, on stream. And I remember how bad the movement was. All the time it felt like I was on ice. And when I was on ice, it was even worse. And don't get me started with the ladders. The ladders are so bad. And don't get me started with Zen. Zen is horrible. The worst part of the game is Zen. 100%. I absolutely agree with that. Everyone that says something else doesn't know what he's talking about.
Pretty simple. Everyone should play through Half-Life. This game was revolutionary for its time, and there's a reason we all look back at it with such fondness all these years later.
So am I like a new employee?
No.
3 dormitories.
So if I'm going
Not a new one, just an employee.
from the dorms, I'm probably working here.
That did get me thinking though. What does a game like Half-Life feel like to a more modern audience?
Please.
Bad. I can tell you, to a modern audience, this game feels bad. Because the movement is not very good. The letters are horrible. And Zen just sucks.
Keep your limbs inside the train at all times.
Keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times.
The train has come to a complete halt.
My girlfriend still only just scratched the surface of what's out there to see and play, but have the shiny new textures and tighter controls from contemporary games spoiled her? Will she appreciate Half-Life the same way many of us do? Or will we struggle to impress her?
Well, look, we're getting here.
Since she's someone who's unwittingly been the benefactor of its impact on the games industry, my hope for sending her on this trip back in time is to see how well the game holds up to a newcomer in today's day and age.
PhD at MIT in theoretical physics? I'm smart.
For context, Half-Life released in 1998 set a new standard for what a game could be.
Look at the robots. We're waiting.
Prior to its release, most first-person shooters had a pretty simple gameplay loop. To sum it up, you'd get a gun and shoot things with it. There was a lot less focus on a story or narrative to drive the game forwards, and it was much more about killing things and using cool weapons. Half-Life came on the scene and demonstrated how you could interweave a narrative into gameplay and create a satisfying playable experience.
And that's why it was so good. Oh my god. Just the sequence with the train at the beginning was so immersive. So good. It's lovely. And that's most likely the part I played the most. Well, which isn't hard because it's literally the first couple of minutes of the game.
Look at the radioactiveness.
Nowadays, it's common for FPS games to have a campaign or narrative built into its mechanics, but back in the day, this was groundbreaking stuff. Saying that Half-Life raised the bar for FPS games doesn't even do it justice, but rather, I'd say it launched the possibilities to all new heights.
I think you can even say they reinvented it. I think you can say it.
At Sector C Test Labs.
Oh, we're here? Am I gonna have to do that every single time I like come to work?
Yes.
Please stand back from the automated door and wait for the security officer to verify your identity.
Okay.
Before exiting the train, be sure to check your area for personal belongings. Thank you, and have a very safe and productive day.
Morning, Mr. Freeman. Looks like.
Oh shit, I can move. Oh, hi. Can I have moved this whole time?
Yes. Yes.
I just assumed. That's so funny.
That's so
I didn't
great.
even really think about it until I heard him coming up to the side of me.
From the very start, Half-Life understands how to properly acclimate the player to its world. Not only is it Gordon Freeman's first day at Black Mesa, but to a new player, it's their first visit.
Wait, his first day? Really? I don't remember that.
As well.
Hey, catch me later. I'll buy you a beer.
Nice, thank you.
Going into.
Yeah, see, they're talking like they know each other for a while already.
The game with next to zero expectations, it's easy to forget that the game is a first-person shooter based solely from the events of the intro, but that's part of the fun.
Hello. It's the Black Mesa Research Facility.
Hey, Mr. Freeman, I had a bunch of messages for you, but we had a system crash about 20 minutes ago, and I'm still trying to find my files.
Oh, don't worry about it.
They were having some problems down in the test chamber, too, but I think that's all straightened out. They told me to make sure you headed down there as soon as you got into your habits.
These ridiculous
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know.
She really got the full first day of work experience, complete with touring around the different facilities and making acquaintances along.
Yes, this is... For me, this was always one of the most fun things about the game. They're just walking around aimlessly, just looking around.
On the way.
Please, leave me alone until after the experiment.
Man, these scientists are like standoffish.
Weren't you supposed to be in the test chamber half an hour ago?
Half-Life does a great job of constructing an immersive experience for the player, and the intro sequence of Black Mesa helps set the framework for the adventure waiting to unfold.
Oh, so there's one. Oh god. I feel like I'm just like going deep underground and I'm in a hazmat suit. This is making me feel very claustrophobic.
If I'd given her zero context whatsoever for what the game was before sitting her down to play, I can already tell she would have had a blast just running around interacting with things if the game had just been a giant corporate training simulator.
It's the break room! Oh, there's soda. Aha!
I can't be bothered right now.
Man, no one wants to chat.
Now, with that being said, it became clear rather quickly this wasn't exactly the first day on the job she was expecting it to be.
What's about to go critical? Why is that broken?
Oh,
fuck.
This is so funny.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable my first day of work.
Whether it was the hazard suit...
Everyone does. If things like this would happen in real life, yeah, I would feel uncomfortable too.
Or the obscene amount of first aid kits everywhere, disaster was just waiting to happen.
Now, if you follow standard insertion procedures, everything will be fine.
I don't know how you can say that, although I will admit that the possibility of a resonance cascade scenario is extremely unlikely.
Gordon doesn't need to hear all this.
I am very alarmed. No, I want all the information.
Nothing will go wrong.
I don't think I want to go in here. No one is making me feel confident about this situation.
Not to mention, her constant eavesdropping on the water cooler banter around her tipped her off that not everything was all peachy keen here at Black Mesa.
Did I do it wrong?
Who could have guessed?
Get your heads out of your asses and just tell me what the fuck is going on. Stop telling me what you want it to happen and tell me what is happening.
They can't because they don't know.
So I think something went wrong.
On the topic of immersion, I have to talk about the look of the game.
Has science gone too far? Yes.
That one is good. That one is really good. Man. And we are still not even 1/3 through the game. And she's already, yeah, this is going too far. I like it.
Yes, it has.
I wasn't surprised that the graphics were a bit of a culture shock for my girlfriend, and they came up in discussion almost immediately after hitting start on the menu. In my opinion, they still hold up well by today's standards.
No, they don't. No. And I was there when it came out. It doesn't hold up at all. Not even the slightest.
And the age gives it all the more charm.
Oh no. Oh no. That's what you get for not giving me all the information.
Yes, it is charming. But it is charming in a way like one of those cheap modern horror games where the graphics basically look like that. It's charming in the same way. It looks cheap and retro.
And proceeding with it, even though it clearly was not working. How the hell do I get out of here?
What's more, for their time, they were far and away the best we'd seen. Half-Life is the oldest game we've had her play, so it piqued my curiosity how she'd feel about it.
Okay, come on, dude. We gotta get out of here.
Although her initial reaction was to laugh at the goofiness of the other human characters, the immersion runs so deep that within minutes she was no longer distracted by the textures and instead found herself just another part of the game's world.
Which is a sign of a good game. Because I'm the same. I completely ignore how old the graphics look, and I'm just in the world. But I still recognize that, you know, for today, for even 20 years ago. 20? Oh god, 20 years ago. Even for 20 years ago, this doesn't look good anymore. And 20 years ago was Half-Life 2, which today doesn't look that great anymore. 10 years ago it didn't look that great anymore. But I still love that game, Half-Life 2. Love it to this day. And I will play it on stream.
Why didn't they listen?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Please, get to the surface as soon as you can and let someone know we're stranded down here.
Okay, I'm on it. Oh god. What the fuck is that thing? Oh my god, scientists, be safe. I'll come back as soon as I can.
Access denied.
Okay, well, I'm trying to freaking go out the door.
When it comes to Valve games, a while ago I had her play through the Portal series, and I think that was a good way to introduce her to the developer.
I think, yeah.
Then someone let me out of here. Ah!
Valve makes you think when you're playing their games, and just because you're handed
Which is good. I wish every game would do that.
a gun in Half-Life doesn't mean you solve all your problems with shooting.
Oh, thank god. I don't understand why he wasn't helping me before.
They spent a good portion of the prologue not even arming her, so she gets a good taste of movement and how Gordon controls.
Oh, good lord. Those guys need to get out of here.
Overall, the game blends its action with its puzzles quite seamlessly, and with her experiences from Portal, she's much more capable at problem solving in first person. Not to mention, her aim's gotten a lot better since then, too.
How did I get this?
It lends its credit to the entertainment of the game that you can go so long playing without ever firing a gun or let alone equipping a weapon.
Which is really something. In modern games, oh my god, it's hard. Because they are mostly boring. To be fair, they're boring. If you don't fight, it's boring. Which is sad.
Oh my god! I just watched an elevator fall!
The panic.
In case of fire, do not use elevators, okay? Oh god, that could have been me.
It speaks volumes how easily she could lose herself in the fun of exploring and helping out around Black Mesa before later finding a weapon and remembering, oh yeah, I'm supposed to kill things in this game.
Oh my god. Stay away from the security guard.
Her initial objective is to escape the facility and get help. Of course, now there are a bunch of aliens running around and getting in her way. Right from the start, as soon as she swung the crowbar for the first time, she realized that Gordon handled a little different from other characters she's controlled before.
Yeah.
I'm currently climbing my way to the top of the science facility to let them know that there's a bunch of scientists trapped. But I'm also not really feeling like these scientists are really trying that hard to save themselves, and it's a little bit alarming. Because, like, all the alarms keep saying, like, explosion imminent, overheating systems, and I'm like, get out of here. Ah, shit.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling with this whole gravity thing.
The age definitely showed its controls, mostly in the way
the jumping puzzles are one of the worst things in the game. One of the worst things.
she could whip around back and forth really quick. That being said, the attention to detail in Half-Life more than makes up for some of the clunkier movements.
I'm having a lot of fun.
True.
Since she's been acclimated to the polished camera movements you can expect from contemporary games, she actually got a little motion sick the first day she played.
Well,
really?
There goes our grant money.
There goes our grant money. That's what you're worried about in a time like this? Grant money?
With some practice, got the hang of it, and her gripes mysteriously disappeared along with it.
Hello.
Did you just, like, say hello after jumping out the window?
Despite being a shooter at its core,
called humor.
Half-Life still wants you to interact with it in several other ways as well. It really stood out to me how much fun she had turning wheels, pulling levers, and pushing buttons between the different firefights.
No, sir, careful. Shit. Well, don't copy me.
The interactivity of the world pushed her to engage with it in a creative way and helped her to start thinking outside of the box.
Oh, hello. Can you please let me in? Excuse me? Sir? Why are you adjusting your tie in a time like this?
Her curiosity drove
Because
her
you
to be
can.
thorough in her investigations of her surroundings, but her lack of game sense definitely worked against her in other ways as well.
Guys, now is not the time for this conversation. Okay? There are lasers there. There are lasers there. There are turrets.
A key aspect about this game is that you learn a lot from your surroundings.
Damn it. Can I just actually shoot these things over? Yo, I can! Okay, well, this changes everything. I thought I had to work around the turrets, but I guess I can just knock them over. I thought I had tried earlier, but sorry, dudes.
A lot of the time, you'll find yourself in a situation where you encounter something new and sort of just have to figure out whether or not it's something meant to help or hurt you.
True, very true. Very, very true. Half-Life is great at that.
You're going to have to leave me here, Gordon.
Now, those are things that are not good. And I think they came into the game with one of the later patches. Because I don't remember this happening when I played it in the 90s. Or the 2000s.
Okay.
Valve doesn't want to interrupt the player and break their immersion. I think this really benefits the experience of playing Half-Life.
Damn, girl, planning to eat tonight?
Time is right now.
From my experience, it's always been more satisfying to teach myself about how the game world works rather than being told outright.
Yo, I can heal and reload at the same time. This is great.
That being said, this aspect was definitely to my girlfriend's detriment, as she kind of needs things spelled out for her.
Oh, I'm taking him with me, I guess.
To her credit, the reason for that is that just playing the game eats up most of her focus to begin with.
Sometimes I have to, like, click things a couple of times just to make really sure that, like, I can actually click something or not click something. Less because I'm not able to click it and maybe I just didn't aim at it correctly.
Let's take the sniper enemies as a quick example.
I get that.
Rescued at last. Thank God you're here.
What the hell? Oh my god, are they trying to keep this under wraps?
After finding the military and asking for help, you learn they're here to cover up this whole incident, and now suddenly there are enemies who have guns as well.
So the military is not here to save us, it's here to exterminate us because I don't think corporate...
That was a great moment, by the way. I don't remember though how it was when I first encountered it, because 30 years.
Corporation wants to see this getting to the light of day.
Your introduction to the sniper enemy is played for laughs when a security guard attempts to deliver you an important message before dropping dead mid-sentence, seemingly from nothing.
Agreement, right? I've got a message for you.
Okay, what's
Make
up?
sure you don't...
No, what was the message?
Common intuition would suggest that something can kill you that you can't see, so taking cover while assessing your surroundings would be the logical next thing to do.
Yeah.
Good lord. He was telling me something important.
My girlfriend eventually got there too, but not before standing in front of the guard's corpse, upset that she'd never find out what he needed to tell her, when clearly all he had to share was there were snipers running about.
Where did that shot come from? Freaking assassins.
This sort of thing occurs all throughout the game, and it definitely slowed her down every time it would happen. Whether it was boxes that could be broken for goodies.
That's fine.
There's a band-aid. I should be breaking more boxes. How much supplies have I been missing out on?
Or a new gun for taking out tough enemies. She was constantly overlooking clear signals the game was trying to send her of how to play it.
Oh, I've been ignoring these the entire time. Oh my god, I could have had armor this whole time.
Oh my god.
Instead, I'm just taking bullets straight to my health.
Much to my amusement, she often wouldn't pick up on these lessons until much later on, and realize what she'd been missing out on this whole time.
What did I do?
Oh.
Oh, it's like a grenade. I love that was completely on accident.
Of course, the game doesn't...
Awesome. Awesome. Click the wrong button, discovered something. Yeah. That's also me.
Hesitate to throw new things at you left and right. So by that point, the backlog of things to learn was starting to really stack up. And you can start to see how she made the game a lot more difficult for herself than it needed to be.
Keeping on this journey, we're escaping.
I think I'm doing the same with opposing force right now. Because I'm kind of stuck because of low health.
Try and keep most of the scientists alive if possible. We'll probably lose a couple along the way, but not for lack of trying. Okay, I might get lost along the way.
The game likes to evolve over time and incorporate more of the new things that it teaches you together. Although she's a little slow to catch up, it doesn't necessarily hinder her from having a good time still.
Oh my god, I can already hear the Twitter videos. Oh my god, he called his girlfriend slow.
Nice.
She may march to the beat of her own tempo, but the reality is that a fun game is still fun even when you're bad at it.
Nice. I'm
Yes.
finally getting the rocket off. Yes!
It doesn't matter if you're good or bad at a game as long as it's fun. That's the only important thing about the games.
Not really sure what getting the rocket off will do, but the scientists said to do it, so...
I found it endearing that she was still enjoying herself even when she found herself failing a section over and over again.
Oh wait, I can just hop up the side. Shit.
Yeah, the movement sucks.
Okay. Good idea, poor execution. It took me a shocking amount of time to figure out this idea. There it goes.
Even the segments where I felt like I was losing my mind watching her not get something that seemed like common sense, I could still appreciate the enthusiasm she had to get back up and experiment.
What just happened? Was I just knocked out?
Yeah.
I was!
A common joke between the two of us about her in games is that she plays outside of intended gameplay loops and instead operates within her own girlfriend loop.
Oh my god, I'm being thrown in the trash compactor. I feel like I'm in Star Wars right now. No, shit. I died.
I mentioned how she initially scoffed at some of the older textures in this
Can
game,
happen.
but she actually came to eat those words. She ended up relying on them as she mentioned to me how she could usually tell if something was interactable by the texture being a little clearer than its fuzzy surroundings. Maybe not necessarily intended on Valve's part, but it was a neat little trick to help speed up her already slow exploration.
And all that and I can't even get in there? God damn it.
Even if it took her longer than the average player to get past something, it was still just as satisfying when things did click and she finally figured it out.
Oh wait.
Well, to be fair, a lot of the things is, you know, getting past them is exploring everything around so you get a clue on what to do.
Okay, she can go this way. Yeah, I was like, this isn't really making sense.
Some of her more unconventional solutions to problems certainly raised some eyebrows, but that didn't matter to her so long as she made it to the next section. At the end of the day, that's really what a game boils down to at its core. A collection of puzzles meant to be solved using whatever tools the player has access to.
Are they being kept in crates? Or were these dogs that turned into these? Have these been like little doggos that got radiated and that's what they've been this whole time?
No.
Immersion is a topic that keeps coming up, but it's because so much effort went into it in Half-Life. Loading screens are a great example because most games of this era would send you to a screen while it loads the next area. But in Half-Life, they do it seamlessly while you're walking through a tunnel or hallway.
Questionable ethics indeed. I'm pretty convinced that these were dogs.
Of course, this is completely over my girlfriend's head, and she doesn't even know how to begin to appreciate it. But thankfully, she can appreciate the seamless loading in her own way. Anytime the text appeared on screen, she let out a massive sigh of relief, because it was confirmation for her that she'd been going the correct direction. Ironically, this means they were having the complete opposite effect on her, as the text is taking her straight out of the game and breaking any immersion she may have had, but to each their own, I guess.
This game, especially when we're inside, like, really, like, I forget that it's as old as it is, but I see stuff like this and I'm like, hell yeah.
We're making it back to the 90s with this
one. Yeah,
baby.
The textures are really bad.
Where she felt so smart were almost always punctuated with realizations of how simple a solution was at the same time. Granted, there were also plenty of moments of frustration where she was practically growling at the screen that she couldn't figure something out.
It says do not obstruct the laser. I feel like they put this box here so I can obstruct the laser, but like, it's not letting me.
She kept saying she needed to work smarter, not harder, and that was one of the big things she liked about this game. The things that came easily to her were all well and good, but the most memorable parts of the game were definitely the areas that gave her pause and really made her scratch her head about what to do next.
God,
yeah.
This game makes me feel both like so dumb, then also so smart.
The thing is, when
Same. And I remember with that puzzle, when I was a teenager, it took me ages to figure it out.
I play a game and start to struggle, there's usually a moment where I stop and think about what I'm doing.
Oh, good lord. Yes, I love being on the edge of a cliff.
Like, is the game wanting me to do this way, or is there something else I can try?
Oh, I just took out the helicopter! That was my nemesis.
Sometimes the game
One of the best things in the game. It feels so good to do.
actually does want me to struggle, but more often than not, a game wants me to be clever.
I'm a genius.
Half-Life made me realize something about how my girlfriend plays games, which is that she's always struggling.
Oh.
I'm not good.
Her lack of experience means that everything feels challenging and difficult, so that logic gate doesn't even exist for her.
Try it over here. You like my technique, like the peeking and...
It never occurs that she might be doing something wrong if the game feels hard or unfair, because her immediate assumption is that it's her fault for not being good at it.
What? I was hiding! Trying my process.
By the way, if an explosion happens in that building, the entire building explodes. That's why she's dead. Just so you know.
Instead of finding an alternative, she blames herself and just keeps brute forcing things until she eventually finds a way through.
That was an evil box.
Evil
I
box.
See. Damn, they literally attached the laser like to the boxes.
Probably the best example of this I can come up with is the weapons.
What the hell is this thing?
Usually when the game hands you a new gun, there will be a new type of enemy or obstacle to try it out on. Some weapons are better than others for taking out certain enemies, and with ammo being limited in supply, it's usually best to use the right tool for the job.
Oh, that's
you can shoot that thing down. I didn't know that. I wish I did. Would have made the entire thing more easy.
Oh, nice. I blew up a helicopter.
Introducing a new kind of enemy right after getting a gun is them quietly nudging you to practice using your new weapon, while also showing you what the right tool to deal with these new threats is. Clearly that subtlety is lost on her though, so a jab might have been more useful than a nudge.
If I shoot the guy, he's like, hey, what did I do to you? And I'm like, well, maybe don't run right in front of my fire.
My girlfriend tends to stick to what she knows, so many of her guns gathered dust while she tried hammering through the entire game with nothing but the MP5.
Oh. Yeah.
It's a pretty good...
That's not how you play the game. That doesn't work.
Multi-purpose weapon, but you're punished for using it too much because it chews through ammo rather quickly with the tankier enemies.
But I don't think this level would have been nearly as long if I was better at shootings and platformings.
When she did run out of ammo, she ended up switching to one of the other weapons, but the big problem with that was she tried using it like her MP5. Firing a shotgun at range just doesn't work the same as a machine gun, unfortunately.
Exactly.
But I guess when all you have is a girlfriend, all your problems start looking like nails.
When we realized that you might actually make it here, we drew straws to see who should stay behind to let you through. Obviously, I drew the short one. My colleagues are waiting at the tip of the Lambda reactor.
I think I drew the shortest straw.
My favorite of these had to be the glue-on gun, or as she called it, the glue gun.
I built the glue-on gun, but I just can't bring myself to use it on a living
Glue-on
creature.
gun?
You don't look as if you have any trouble killing things.
What?
Upon using it for the first time, she tried single shooting it with one mouse click at a time and got annoyed that it couldn't even take out a little head crab with a single shot. Hilariously, that was because this weapon is actually a deadly laser beam that you're meant to hold down and incinerate things with.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, she wasn't willing to give it enough time to figure that part out. It wasn't until later on that she gave it another try and it ended up saving her life.
Oh shit, well that's not what I was trying to do. No!
Whew. I haven't talked enough about actually firing the weapons, and there were definitely some growing pains.
Shall I say it? A woman.
For her when it came to not having an iron sight to stare down on her guns. Fortunately, Portal prepared her for this, and she'd also eventually realize she had a sight on the Black Mesa crossbow. Nonetheless, shooting from the hip was something she adjusted to rather quickly. In her words, it made her less self-conscious about her aim, and she felt like it helped her reaction time, and she didn't feel like she had to carefully line up a shot with an enemy. She's always been a careful shooter in games, so it was nice to see her loosen up a bit and learn to start blasting as soon as she saw a threat.
Meat is good.
Oh. Huh.
For her, getting behind cover was more of a suggestion than a rule though, as she seemed to prefer more of a juggernaut approach. It was kill or be killed, so unless the enemy was spongy enough to eat her bullets, her main strategy was to stand in open view and unload on wherever the red damage indicator pointed her.
I'm not saying it again. I'm not.
What even is getting, is it the, I know you can't really see, but like, is it the tank that's getting me?
The further she got in the game, the less feasible this strategy was, and eventually her methods started to change. At a bare minimum, she at least started crouching. It wasn't behind anything, but it was at least a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I have technique. It's called, once I start shooting, I just sit there and shoot back.
So far, the story has had her mostly fighting aliens and military units on our home planet, but the last section of the game involves her actually going to the aliens' world and fighting them on their home turf.
The worst part of the entire game. Oh, I wonder how she will... Oh, how will she do?
Going! Okay. Interesting.
Platforming has had a presence throughout the game, but it's this last section of the game that it ramped up in difficulty for my girlfriend.
Okay, I didn't do that right.
She claimed that for her playthrough, the jumping sections were a lot harder than any of the firefights, but she's always been her own worst enemy when it comes to platforming, especially in first-person games.
Isn't Zen supposed to be, like, relaxed?
But what he forgets to say is that Zen is trash. Zen is literally the worst part of the game. No one likes Zen. Not even Gabe Newell likes Zen. The developer said that they rushed Zen because they ran out of time.
Because this is not relaxed.
On Zen specifically, the platforming segments led to some of her biggest frustrations, thanks in no part to the change in gravity.
Oh, damn it.
I think the game's age also reared its head a bit in how it handles during the jumping segments, as she'd frequently get frustrated at how her jumps felt like she was hurling forwards with no brakes.
Yeah.
Run! Oh damn, okay.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming.
I told you, it feels like walking on ice. It's really bad.
Forward momentum led to her overshooting a lot of platforms and overall created a lot of frustration with the alien world. Couple this with the fact she didn't even know how the first aid stations worked on this planet, and you can see why she may have gotten aggravated.
Oh, these are healers. Oh my god, I am so dumb. I thought these were like teleporters that were broken, and I could have been healing this whole fucking time.
Oh, that's bad, yeah.
Are you kidding?
But I didn't remember that either.
The final boss of the game is also located here, and he has a name, but my girlfriend dubbed him the giant ugly baby.
Because that's what it is.
I'm very confused as to what this is. Like, it looks like a giant ugly baby.
The boss puts a lot of what you've learned to get here together into one big final fight. Of all the things he can do to hurt you,
But
by
the
far
fight
the
isn't
worst of the
good.
bunch was firing a green orb that would teleport her to her worst nightmare.
Whoa.
A room full.
Which I found out you can avoid by standing behind one of those spikes. One that's close to the wall. And then you can just peek around the wall and shoot the baby, and then that's basically it. And when it has no thingies around it anymore, and it only shoots one electric thingy, you can go on one of the pads to jump above it, and then you shoot it in the brain, literally.
Of platforming.
What in the world?
This one room in particular was the only part of the entire game where she actually walked away from it in frustration.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see that. I almost did that.
No.
By the way, the boss fight took me 90 minutes. And I will cut that down for a YouTube video, because you don't want to see that for 90 minutes.
The repeating textures on all the walls giving her a headache, or the fact she fell down from the top at least a
That too.
dozen times.
Why do I keep jumping all the way back down? I just sit at the bottom of this room and just cry.
This room delayed her finishing the game by an entire day.
What are we eating for
Yeah.
food, Nicky boy?
Luckily, when she eventually cooled off and came back, she managed to climb to the top and continue the fight where she left off.
Oh, thank God I made it. Okay.
She didn't actually know why she was fighting this thing, which I thought was kind of funny, but to sum it up, by killing it, she can close the portal between the alien world and our own.
I can't even tell if this is doing anything. Oh, wait, that's different. Okay. Open up your head, please. There we go. Why did it go over there? This boss sucks.
She's already proven
It
she's
does.
not the best at picking up on environmental storytelling, but I don't think it was all that clear to begin with that the crystals she used in the first experiment were actually the ones she was destroying in this final boss fight.
It's a little robot giving
I didn't know that. This is the first time I hear that. Okay. Now it makes kind of sense.
me the sample.
Regardless, she eventually managed to figure out when to fire while moon jumping and put an end to the monstrosity once and for all.
I think it might be dying.
He's having a good time over there.
The ugly baby's exploding. Oh.
Let's abort it.
What the hell? This is it's the Thai guy.
In the flesh.
And that's a wrap for the original Half-Life. At the start of the video, I asked if Half-Life would be able to impress her. Well, after the ending, she immediately started installing Half-Life 2.
What
Nice.
the hell? He's giving me two options. I can either fight or I can go into the portal.
I guess that's the difference between an amazing game for its time and an amazing game.
No, I'm very indecisive.
Regrets.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Oh God. Observation terminated. Postmortem subject declined offer of employment.
I got the answer to my question, but she's still got some of her own.
He like didn't talk the whole game and now he just won't shut up.
The good news for her, though, is that there's more where that came from. And she'll soon find out that the right girlfriend in the wrong game can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah. This was a good video. Good video. Man, I wish I had a wife that would play games. But no, I don't. I don't. $40 million game failed. Let's watch this. Ow. Oh, my lungs hurt.
This one pains me, but the news is the news and I gotta report it, and I've got to start with a quote. The bottom line is, the release was undercooked. Now those are the words
Oh, Frost Giant. Oh, yeah, we know why. They were the B team. They...
of Stormgate CEO Tim
Let's not get ahead of us.
Morton, and they're honestly kind of damning. You see, Stormgate peaked at 1,000 concurrent players after the full launch, but that was down from 3,000 during early access. And another thing that's down is...
Which is bad. You don't want player numbers that low.
User reviews. They've never really been up, because they've never made it far beyond 50% positive. It's quite brutal, and it's a sad state for one of gaming's most prominent ex-Blizzard teams. Like, this was supposed to be the new RT.
The thing is, they made it up. Oh, we developed StarCraft 2. No, they didn't. They at max partly developed the third expansion, the third part of StarCraft 2, which in my opinion is the worst part. So at the end, I'm not really surprised here.
From ex-Blizzard talent. So the people who knew how to make StarCraft, but were not being allowed to make more StarCraft. But now we've got the CEO painting a rather dire picture of how things went at his own company. One where the company is quite literally running out of steam. Here's his exact words, quote, "Stormgate has not been a commercial success, and though I'm extremely grateful for the players we have, companies run on capital." Now, to some, that statement will seem impossible because, hey, this company raised $40 million in funding. Rough truth is that $40 million will only get you so far, at least if your scope and your ambition...
Yes, that's the investment. They got 40 million to make a game that makes more than 40 million. That's how money works. So if the game doesn't make any money, the studio closes, of course.
Is what theirs was. But who the hell are these people anyway? So here's the story. Frostgiant launched in 2020 with some serious pedigree. Tim Morton led production on StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And I've got to say, that expansion was a banger. And speaking of bangers, Tim Campbell designed the Frozen Throne Warcraft 3 campaign. One of the...
Wait, he did? Okay.
The all-time greats in gaming. So with pedigree like that, their goal of making a worthy successor to those games feels somewhat reasonable. They wanted to make a truly great RTS, and they decided to build that using their own custom tools called Snowplay. And the plan followed StarCraft 2's eventual business model. You see, StarCraft 2 found success going free to play with its multiplayer, with paid campaign episodes, and then co-op stuff going on top of that. And of course, here with Stormgate, they were going to do that with an ongoing live service with skin sales and new heroes. And over 3 years, they raised $35 million from private investors. Then came the Kickstarter. Not to finish the game, mind you. No, the campaign was meant to fund special editions and a pre-launch beta. That led to another $1.2 million in public funding before the launch. And everything really was teed up for success. I saw the hype amongst some creators, and then their Steam Next Fest demo kind of exploded. It was the second most played. So with all that, you'd think they would be teed up for a perfect early access launch. Of course, the reality...
But there's a big but.
Reality is they were not. Those who thought the Next Fest success would translate to something huge were actually right. Early access was huge. It was a huge disaster. And one review summed it up perfectly. Quote, "You can take the developer out of Blizzard, but you can't take the Blizzard out of the developer." That must have stung for the team, but it didn't come out of nowhere. You see, audiences thought they pre-ordered everything at launch, but it turns out they hadn't, because there was a new $10 hero voiced by Simu Liu. That there was an extra purchase was a surprise, but then GameStar pointed out another problem. Frostgiant had actually messed up in Kickstarter and didn't even realize it. Their FAQ had promised people, quote, all Year Zero heroes. This was present on the expanded backer tiers, but someone on the team just deleted that line after Frostgiant.
Oh no, you don't do that. You don't do that. The price for that is worse than the loss of money if you just give the people what they, paid for.
Had already promised a new paid hero for all backers. So yes, that felt bad. Sentiment soured fast. And unfortunately, the game itself didn't help. People thought the art and design side of things was generic. I think they went stylized in a way that not all of their audience appreciated. Some design elements were found to be underwhelming, as was the writing. There was a short campaign with no offline skirmish mode at launch. That again would have been rough. There was no mod support in day one, and plenty of quality.
To be fair, the style here is just Fortnite. It just looks like Fortnite. Fortnite the RTS. And who wants that?
quality of life issues. Obviously, it was early access. I wouldn't necessarily expect all of those things to be perfect, but it was just that the overall picture didn't feel like something cohesive. And that's the challenge of getting early access right. Yes, it's not the full game, but it still needs to feel like a cohesive thing because people are actually paying money for it. So the early access launch didn't deliver success, but investor Bitcraft led a new funding round to push the team toward their full launch. And April 2025 brought a complete rework of the early access content. Unfortunately, the player numbers did not budge, which again must have been crushingly depressing if you were on that day.
I mean, all-time peak in 15 months was less than 5,000. That already would have shown me that there is not a lot of demand for this game at all.
Of course, the sentiment did not raise up either, and the 1.0 launch that came in August 2025 did not turn things around either. So in short, the public life of this game is not great. And now, as players are debating whether or not the game is even dead, the CEO has been delivering a month-long post-mortem. CEO Tim Morton published 5 blogs on LinkedIn, and they were all about the failure of Stormgate. In every single one, he blames himself for everything that happened. So let's go through these things chronologically. He started by discussing the state of the industry, quite simply saying that audiences demand higher quality than ever before, and it's not just the audiences, it's also investors when it comes to their expectations.
Not really. I mean, if you just make a good game, the problem was the game was over ambitious and didn't deliver for what was promised. I think that's the main problem here.
For the funding that they provide. Then he dove into the RTS genre problem. You see, Stormgate was built on things they learned from StarCraft. And here's what they knew. Campaign players were your biggest audience, but competitive players, well, they were the ones who drove the conversation. Meanwhile, co-op was essential for bringing in new players. The problem? You'd need to hit all 3 modes to truly succeed as an RTS in the modern market. And of course, even StarCraft 2 could not justify a sequel with its revenue, even after it had actually implemented those 3 pillars. Now, Tim Morton says that now he understands that splitting focus was in fact a mistake. They thought they needed to have all of those things to basically make the flywheel work, to get the network effects on their side. But obviously the result is that, quote, every single mode fell short of player expectations. That's obviously quite bad. What about the aesthetic problems though? Well, he basically blames trying to please everyone. There's a little bit of a catch with that. He cites analyst revenue.
If you try to please everyone, you please no one. And that's a well-known thing. A little well-known thing that's not new. At all. If you do that, you will fail all the time because people will not like it.
Figures for recent successful RTS games, and the third post took aim at a Windows Central article. Now basically that article looked at Steam user reviews showing disappointment across early access, and it suggested that Morton somewhat ignored that players didn't like Stormgate. And he kind of objects pretty strongly here. He agrees that the release was undercooked and that it was his fault. He says he didn't give his team enough time, and he points to StarCraft's 7-year development before Wings of Liberty, or other games like Expedition 33 or Silksong. I mean, like we said in our Silksong video, imagine never having to worry about funding and just the job being to ship the game whenever it's right. That's where the StarCraft team had been. But of course, Tim Morton's job was to worry about the funding because he wasn't Blizzard Entertainment anymore. He didn't have Warcraft money. And the financial side is where the Kickstarter bit them again. Quote, Stormgate is fully funded to release. That was the campaign promise. According to Morton, Frost Giant meant the game becoming available in early access by that, not the actual full game. You see, early access is when the monetization would start, and therefore would start keeping the game alive. Hence, $10 heroes at launch. Now obviously, players expected release to mean version 1.0. He also touched on the change down.
Yes, that's what they... Yeah, of course. That's the wording. That's what these things always meant.
FAQ saying that a team member's, quote, inexperience led to them to just delete that line. Obviously, players got angry, that created a adversarial relationship with fans, and some then started to forensically analyze Frost Giant for proof of wrongdoing or any trouble, which of course is going to generate more stories that aren't necessarily good ones for the company. And of course now, Stormgate is in trouble. Morton was already talking about layoffs to Bloomberg immediately after launch. Following that, and these blogs, someone then asked
him... Yeah, I think the studio will just close down. They're just done. Another 40 million in the games industry invested and gone. Who could have guessed?
Him a fairly direct question. The question is this: is there a team working on the game? And here's his response, quote, "Some work continues, but the only real path forward is through partnership. Stormgate has not been a commercial success, and though I'm extremely grateful for the players we have, companies run on capital." So yeah, he's going to need a big old injection of money.
Yeah, no one will invest in the company. The company literally has nothing to offer, maybe with the exception of the tools and the IP. But who cares about the IP? No one. Because there's never been anything successful with this IP. Because it's a completely new IP. First game with that. And it failed. So no one cares.
Now, in the minds of some players, well, this is a confusing situation. And for a fairly simple reason. $40 million. How do you fail when you have $40 million? Okay, first thing to understand, Frost Giant rode the COVID investment wave where, like with many other veteran developers, they just got showered with cash early on. By that I mean 4.7 million in 2020, another 5 million in 2021, and then 25 million in 2022. Now, all
so much money that you could have invested in something that works better. Or in just more things.
that funding was built on a bet. That bet being that the industry thought, it would pay off, right? That's why money was being heaped in. Frost Giant was valued at potentially being worth $150 million when Stormgate.
90% of the money in the financial sector is not existent. It doesn't exist. There is no actual value, no actual things behind that money. It's credits of credits of credits of credits of credits. That money doesn't exist. Always be aware of that.
Released. Again, I wonder what their definition of release is, because if they meant early access, then it certainly ain't worth 150 million. But here's the problem. The industry Stormgate was pitched in, well, it's not the industry Stormgate was released in. And that's not just some trite remark.
Yep.
You see, if investment had have continued at that scale, then Stormgate would have actually had a AAA budget. Would have been humongous. And that was actually the game that they started building. But here's the thing with early stage company funding, right? If you want to get a lot more money in, you do need to have quite a big, bold vision that you will credibly pull off. This team obviously had loads of things.
They should have gone for co-op on arcade first, and then implement the rest. And the first next step I would have gone with would be multiplayer. And then campaign. That would have most likely made the most sense money-wise.
That would suggest they were credibly the people to do this job. But obviously, investment trends really did change. And I suppose they could have been left with this humongously scoped, very expensive game, but not really the revenue runway to pull it off. I mean, just for a second, think about this. Their plan was a game truly of Blizzard's scale, right? Campaign, co-op, map editor, multiplayer, like loads of community tournament features, and all of that at a high level of graphical fidelity. Because of course, this was meant to be a new modern game in the StarCraft style. Not just that, it was meant to be basically the spiritual successor. That's a hell of...
Yes, but you don't have the money for that. Just start out small. That's always the problem with those new studios. They go, oh yeah, we make the new super massive game that is be a successor to whatever, and we are so great, so awesome, this is going to be a massive success, and they all fail. They all fail. I think I've never heard of any studio that tries something like that and they succeeded.
A lot of work. That's the type of lofty ambition that can get you a lot of funding. And in the early days, that worked. They were building to a big scale. I mean, just look at the credits. There are 120 plus names who are in direct development roles on this game. Plus, of course, the supporting structures like publishing teams, voice actors, and composers. And that's along with the outsourcing companies covering art, cinematics, and localization. That's a lot. And let's just do some rough maths here. Take an average...
Yeah, why didn't they have a team of 20 people making a smaller game? And then when that is successful, they expand on it.
California game dev wage, say 100 grand. It's a lot of money. I'll say that maybe a third are contractors and they're ultimately costing the company less than the employees or something. But the studio still, you know, covers rent, utilities, and everything else. You could ballpark their annual burn rate at about $10 million. So that would be the cost to run a year of Frost Giant at full pace. Now, again, that's based on loose napkin maths, but it should give you an idea of the scales we're talking about. And that also doesn't factor in marketing costs or anything else. But consider this. Their largest fundraising was $25 million in 2020. Now, when you think about the costs of these things, I mean, your $1.2 million Kickstarter, assume that Kickstarter doesn't take 10%. Assume you don't have rewards to fulfill, probably taking up another 35%. That's just going to be doing a few people for a year, because making games, especially in that region, is expensive. And during a lot of this development, it truly was expensive. It's a little bit of an anecdote, but I've heard a few little stories of just some people I know over there who back then would be talking about, like, say, losing a candidate whenever they're trying to hire people to offers that were like north of 300K. And certainly, and I don't want to say what role it was because I don't want it to be identifying, but let's just say it wasn't a programming role. And I mean, that just gives you a sense of how expensive that old bubble really got. But hey, to make the best games, you need the best talent.
And then you have game developers in third world countries that work for basically nothing. They bring out a game that sells 1 million units. And the game costs to produce maybe 1,000. Of course they're gonna make the money back. Easy.
Need to be in the best place. California is that place, and that's the way that things are done. And the way that early stage company funding is done is, you know, you get money. That gives you runway, you make progress, and then you move from, you know, your Series A to your Series B and your Series C, and you do pull in more and more and more money. Now, Frost Giant will say, an AI research lab, they'd be doing great right now. Problem is, they're a games company, and that's not really where the money's been going to these days. So the budget that Frost Giant started with was pretty big. And what that did is it ended up being pretty much all that they would end up getting. So no wonder Morton is saying that if they made the game now, they'd have to outsource to outside of America. They'd maybe have to use more generative AI. Basically, they would have had to have done loads of things differently. So they were left in a situation where they were unable to do further large-scale funding raises, and that just meant they had to do a launch with what they had, because cutting features that you've publicly announced doesn't exactly make you look like a company that's valued at $150 million. And at both early access and full launch...
Your 150 aren't real. Oh, it's valued that way. Who did? Someone. That's how the stuff works.
Well, what happened is you ended up with a Stormgate that did not have enough time in the oven. It was undercooked. The CEO even says that himself. It was a game split across half a dozen different development areas, all because they were trying to hit a target that was set when the games industry was entirely different and where their expectation of future funding was not in line with the timeline that we've ended up in. So where are we left? Well, Tim is not mincing words about the state of the game anymore. He says every single mode fell short of player expectations. That's a massive thing to say, but it's true. I do appreciate honesty. Now, it doesn't change anything for Stormgate as it currently stands. There are remaining developers still working in the game, and they've teased a new update as recently as last week. But here's the truth. Stormgate's problems didn't start at launch. They did not start at early access. It wasn't Simu Liu's fault. You know,
They started when they came up with the concept and, you know, being over ambitious.
He didn't come in and kill the game. No. It wasn't the Kickstarter either. Stormgate's problem started whenever they tried to reach an incredibly difficult goal, a strategy game that would surpass StarCraft 2 on all levels. And they did so expecting the...
Yeah, why would you go in with an expectation like that if it's your first game as a studio that you develop? That's insane. That's just insanity. Yeah, oh, we worked on StarCraft 2. It doesn't matter. It's not your entire team. And you don't have the backing of Blizzard.
Industry would rise up to support them. Because you know what? They'd done it before. They made StarCraft 2. But like so many developers in recent years, didn't pan out. Things changed around them. They didn't end up with the resources and the time they thought they would have, and that meant that some of their public statements ended up not ringing true. And that meant that players are now dealing with a game that has always been undercooked. As for the people left at the company,
yeah, that happens if you promise a lot of stuff and then don't deliver. Now imagine if they had promised less stuff and over-delivered. Oh my god. Or just delivered what they promised. No one would have bet an eye.
I think they will try. They will try to do updates. They'll probably try to do what they can. Maybe it's because they haven't worked out their new strategy yet. Maybe it's because they think if they can hold on, that maybe they will find the investor that they need. Someone to come in and rescue them from this situation so the game can finally end up being cooked.
No one will invest in them. No one. No one. Maybe they get bought by Tencent and then they all get fired and the IP and all the tech goes to China and then a Chinese developer makes a better game. I can see that, yes. But everything else, no.
Obviously, that is a slim chance. And as far as the ex-Blizzard studios go, this is undoubtedly the one that's had the most issues. I mean, maybe there have been more issues at Bonfire, because I think they've basically been a bonfire for cash for many, many, many years. They have finally unveiled something that does actually look pretty neat. There's obviously the other raft of Blizzard Studios, the Dreamhaven raft, and if you want to find out what's going on there, you should watch this video next, because the two games that came out from under them, really good, but unfortunately, they're now having to lay off staff. Turns out those ex-Blizzard developers are... This one pains me, but...
Can you stop YouTube? I hate YouTube. Yeah. Good video. Yeah. Nothing new. Game developer all thought they were better than they are, and then they crashed. Yeah. Who could have guessed? Okay, I take another piss and then we continue our journey. But first pissing. God. Also, I think I'm getting sick. Oh, well, no, that's wrong to say. I think I am sick. Man. No wonder I've been cold 2 days in a row. Even if it's not actually really that cold. Oh. So what do we do next? More stupid stuff? Let's do this one. $500,000 in debt to be failed OF model. Financial audit from 1 month ago. This is gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be awesome. Man, I'm so done. Jesus. 90-minute video.
I prayed about it, and then as I was going to sleep, I heard a voice, and I said, let me just try only
Okay, I'm being told you made $200,000 in 6 months. Where the did that go?
I purchased my mom.
How much? How much, possibly? The tools to change your life have just been upgraded. Download my budgeting app, rebranded to DollarWise today, and start your free trial. Sign up for the annual version, and I'll send you my budget-friendly
Won't work for me because I'm in a different country.
cookbook that can't be purchased anywhere else, and I'll personally sign it and mail it directly to you. Download the DollarWise budgeting app today and take advantage of your free trial.
Hi, my name is Monica. I'm 25 years old from St. Pete, Florida, and this is Financial Audit.
St. Pete, Florida.
Yes.
Very cool. Thanks for coming over to Austin. What do you do for a living there?
I am a registered dietitian.
Cool. Can you help me not be fat?
Sure, absolutely.
Advice number 1.
It's all about what you can add, not what you can take away. So everyone's always
I can add a lot of McDonald's.
the right foods. We'll talk about it. Later date. I don't think this is the time.
My show.
Yeah, his show, literally.
Cool. What are you making in this job?
I make $6,000 a month.
St. Petersburg. Okay.
Oh my god. Oh, 6,000 a month. Oh my god. I would feel so rich because, but I have about 11,000 per year that I need to live, and I'm already saving up money by having only 11k, about 11k. Yeah, it's about that.
I don't know as much. Florida is one of the more expensive states. St. Petersburg, I don't really know as much.
It's 6% above the national average for income as far
What
as
is
like
St. Petersburg or you?
No, St. Pete.
The 6,000 hits your account on a monthly basis? Good. How are you living off the 6,000? How are things going?
It's going good enough right now. So I have a lot of debt, clearly.
Oh,
so
who could have
I
guessed?
need to figure out how I can.
Why have you not put your debt on a diet?
I
Or
have.
your spending or your life, have you? It's what
just
everyone says.
Yeah, very recently. Very recently. I will say I didn't pay attention until probably a month ago.
Till a month ago? What happened a month ago?
I started watching your show.
Okay.
Oh.
I had never seen my credit card statements before.
You never looked at anything.
What? Did you just say she never looked at her credit card stuff before? Yesterday I went to the bank and looked at my account. I do that about once per week, just to be sure. Woman, are you stupid? Oh man, yeah. OnlyFans, of course she is stupid.
Nope.
Why?
Because I felt like I never had to, because I was making enough money to where I was just consistently saving.
6,000? I was making a ton of money. Which, I mean,
Nope.
it's good.
I was making a lot of more money before that.
What was your job?
I was a social media content creator since 2020. And so I made a good chunk of money from that.
Since 2020?
Yeah.
What are you making?
I was making... it started in 2024. It was like...
No, you said 2020.
So 2020, I started on social media. By 2021, I was making $50K, which is like
50K
normal
a year. Doing what?
So much money.
Brand deals, selling personal
What was your
training.
content? Your content was brand deals?
No, I was a health and wellness influencer on TikTok. So you know how...
You look healthy.
Thank you. Back in 2020, all the big trendy TikTok dances were a thing. So I was like doing the dances and putting information like healthy lifestyle tips on the screen, and that
Don't eat greasy food.
Pretty
followed
much.
by a TikTok dance.
Yep.
But greasy food is so good. So good.
Okay, but you said you were making more than this.
And then 2022, it kind of crept up, 75K. 2023 was like 90K.
You were doing well.
Yeah.
What were your do you still have this?
I do, but I don't really, I just started posting on it again. I went on a huge hiatus.
Why?
Because I just didn't want to anymore.
But you were making a living off of it.
The algorithm changed.
No.
And
People's
my
interest changed.
And that.
The algorithm is literally only serving people what they want to keep them on the platform.
That's true.
If you are failing, it's not the algorithm's fault. Sometimes there can be a quick bug.
Yeah.
But that corrects itself typically because they want to keep people on the platform.
Yeah, my audience changed.
Maybe if you're still doing health tips with TikTok dances in 2025, it probably doesn't work. But was 90,000 your cap then? Because again, I mean, you're kind of in that world gross, right?
Yeah, it was 90K in 2023, and then 2024 it bumped up to like 225, 250,000.
What was different? That's crazy.
Yeah. So TikTok was the original place I started making money from brand
that's
deals
not
and
AdSense, I'll
views.
tell you that.
Here it comes. Here it comes. The OnlyFans.
Right.
TikTok doesn't pay.
Yeah, the most it was like 250 in a month from that. So it was mostly brand deals. It was mostly because I was a personal trainer and I was selling online personal training services.
Okay.
And then through that, management reached out to me, some management company.
Oh,
to like
okay, an
manage my brand
agency?
deals. Yes.
Sure, that
And
happens.
they ended up getting me a verified badge on Snapchat as like a public creator there. And that's where I started making the most money, was actually Snapchat. So I started that in about
Snap pays
2022.
well.
Yeah.
It was the same thing, just health.
No, because my audience on TikTok was 94% female. So I catered to them with the health and wellness piece. My audience on Snapchat was 94% male. So
yeah, exactly that. Exactly that.
I posted selfies. I posted
you have
gym
a good
photos.
face.
What kind of selfies?
And I got a lot of views and I didn't know what to do with it. They started paying me AdSense in about 2023. And
What do you mean
know,
you didn't know what to do with it? It was just gym photos.
Right. So it's like, how do I market that?
Did you not go further?
I ended up going further. I
Okay. See, that's what I felt like this was leading to.
Yeah.
Where to go?
Yeah.
So it started off as women commenting under my Snapchat photos saying 400 for post, 300 for post.
Huh?
It means they wanted me to promote their private Snapchat or only accounts on my page.
Okay.
So I started accepting that because the photos they would send me would just be them in like jeans and a crop top. So I, for about 3
Yeah, that's how it starts.
weeks, started posting their stuff, and I was making like an extra $1,200 a week. So then I found out that that's against Snapchat's community guidelines, and I was doing Purely White. Have you heard of those teeth whitening ads? Purely White Deluxe.
No.
They like ended up hiring me once a week to post teeth whitening ads. So I was doing teeth whitening ads on Snapchat every week, twice a week, and I was getting a base salary of $500 a week, sometimes up to $2,000, depending on when it was like a holiday season.
Okay.
So it started that way. It started you know, I was dabbling, and then all of a sudden I noticed that men were commenting that they would pay me. I put my Venmo in my bio. I started getting Venmos, and then I added a couple select individuals onto my Snapchat, and I started selling photos.
Of course. Of course she does. OnlyFans.
No nudity.
This is a load of barnacles.
No
Yep.
nudity?
Nope.
Ludity.
Ludity.
Well,
Like,
ludity
Yeah.
gets close.
yeah, but
Like bent over and wearing yoga pants.
Well, how much did they spend on that?
anywhere from $100 a photo to like $500 a photo, and it would just be like bra,
How many photos?
sometimes 1 to 5.
Okay, what were you making off this?
Ugh, I don't know. Every week.
So
it was
you
kinda
never
varied.
went the online. You never went to booby booty booty booty.
So then,
Oh, it continues. Okay.
then
Of
I
course.
thought, okay, let me just try only, but not nude.
Okay.
So
it
I
works
still
for a
didn't-
bit.
Right. So I got up to, I made like $600 in 2 weeks, and then I was just below the IRS, you know, tax. I didn't want to.
Also, just below you being able to pay your bills. Just
Yeah. So
that's not much.
Right. I got off, and then I went back on one more time, a year later, and I ended up making like 5 or 6,000 in
Still
a couple
lose.
months. Yeah. No nudity.
Yeah, I mean you're.
Wow. If that's true, that I'm actually surprised.
Unless you're a very specific person, like the lewds aren't gonna. It's not gonna be what takes you there.
Yeah.
Right. But then.
Oh, it still goes.
It
Oh,
keeps
please, yes.
End of 2023, very beginning of 2024, a company called Fanfix reached out to me.
Okay.
And this platform is like a soft version of OnlyFans. You don't have to put nudity on there. They have the same guidelines as Instagram. So
Okay.
I couldn't do nudity anyway. So I thought, okay, this is a better way to market my content without people expecting more from me. So I went
But
on
the
there.
expecting more is what endlessly gets them to keep giving. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Go
yep.
on.
So I had managers on my Snapchat account who were posting for me every single day to the
Which are all living in Iraq.
point where they were just recycling old photos of me to keep me on trend. So I was getting in like 100,000 to 1 million story views a day. Good traction. So when I started this other subscription account, I set it at $10 and I started promoting it. And the thing is, similar to OnlyFans, you could tip the creator 5, 10, 15, however much you want to message with them privately. And
Which is where a lot of the money is coming from for those OnlyFans women. Of course, they themselves don't chat with the men. They have dudes that do that. In a country where they get $1 per hour.
I didn't want to do that.
So someone else did it for you.
Yeah. So I ended up
Told you.
making $50,000 in my first month.
What the?
Wow.
Okay.
And then 60 in my
All from
second.
the chat?
Yeah.
Mostly
chat.
from the chat.
I spent 30 minutes on there a day, and I would post in
told
the
you.
main feed, and I would take like 10 to 20 photos, videos. I also had a pole. So I was learning how to pole dance. So it was like online.
Oh,
thing.
that. Okay.
Yeah, but not like,
No hole.
no
Okay.
nipple, no nothing.
Uh-huh.
But I would, I bought a bunch of lingerie.
Yeah, but it was close, yeah.
It was close enough. And I would send my managers extra photos, and they would go into the chat and bait people for money.
So how many months did you make this much?
I started with 50, 60, and then it leveled out at 20 a month.
That's not
just
bad
about.
at all. That is the $250,000 a year is not something to complain about.
Definitely not. I stopped that
For why?
summer.
Was it the objectification? Was it like, what was it? Like,
There is no objectification. I mean, there is, but she's making herself the object. It's very simple.
just feeling like it was very wrong.
Why?
Because I felt scammy. I felt like I didn't want to sell that. I didn't want to.
Is it the sexual part? Or?
Yeah, it was the sexual part. It was just
so
the
you're
general
not into
morality.
that. You're in that life. Okay, you went full Christian good girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Can we believe that? Chat, can we believe that?
My managers were not happy.
Did you just say you started social media up again, though?
Yeah.
Don't you think that's where it's going to end up? I mean, not that all women end up there, but that is a very common trend today, unless you have a very specific type of content that you're doing, of which I don't think you...
So I deleted my Snapchat. I had 420,000 subscribers on there.
You don't have to go to the extreme.
I know, but it served no purpose. It had no value.
Okay, I'm being told you made $200,000 in 6 months. Where the did that go?
So I paid my managers 15%.
Well, that's fine, and that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I traveled a lot. I bought...
Who's this? How old are you?
That's what dumb women always do. They travel a lot.
24.
So last year?
Yeah. Yep. So I traveled. I went not internationally. I just flew domestic. I was pretty frugal on my travels. However, I purchased my mom a house.
You bought your mom a house?
Yeah.
How much? How much, possibly?
Down payment was $70K. So a lot of that went to that. And then not really clothing so much. I just...
What?
That's it. I just lived and didn't...
Clothing, not so much. So a lot of clothes. That's how I read that.
Really think about it. Because I figured that would last. And then I realized...
But you stopped.
I know.
It may have.
It would have lasted at least a while. I could have done probably something differently, but I mean...
You could have invested the money.
It is
It is what it is. It is what it is. May I objectify you for a second? Do I have consent to objectify you?
Sure.
You're hot. They're substantial. She's very cute. Like, she could make money. I'm not saying if you don't want to or it's against your morality, do it. Like, I'm vibing with whatever you want to do. In fact, I would say, probably don't, because it is a little online... Like, it's not great, and it gets parasocial, and some people have been in danger. We don't like that. However, you could.
I could.
And now you're starting social media back up again. What the is your plan here? Because you're in a normal job now.
Yep, I'm in a normal job, and it's sustainable, and it's stable, and I love it. I've never had a real job like this,
but you're starting
salary.
Online again. That's sketch. Pull up your online. Pull up your online. Not any of the naughty naughties.
It's just my TikTok.
That's for the post show. You're a stressed person? You got picking on the fingers. I do that as well. I do it from stress.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Really bad.
Not healthy.
Really bad OCD.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
She said OCD. Was she diagnosed by someone else than herself? We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is substantial. Again, we don't allow people to plug things, so you guys won't know what this is. I will screen record, and we'll put it in here, but we'll blur out the name. Okay, but she has almost 600,000 followers. This is not bad. Let's see. Pinned comment. About to eat.
You think? That was just random. I didn't. Most
you
recent.
look better in person than you do in that video.
Thank you.
Oh, Jesus is King. She did go full Christian. I called that.
Yeah.
Well done. So from tits online to Christian.
And the content that I'm posting now on TikTok is going through case studies of my clients that I see.
I was going to say, the content you posted on TikTok 3 days ago got 618 views.
Right.
Okay,
so
we're not really going there.
Yeah, I'm not banking.
Day in the life. Symptom-free period?
Yeah. So I went from endometriosis to symptom-free periods as part of my story. So.
Huh?
Yeah.
What's endometriosis?
Endometriosis is the...
Why does she use those hard words instead of just saying what's going on?
Scar tissue that can build up inflammation around the uterus and causes like really bad painful periods for women.
Why are you doing that?
I don't anymore.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, but I specialize in helping women with their hormone health.
Did you get it like removed?
No.
This is not. I do not have. I'm not.
No.
I have an asshole.
I don't have a vagina. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, it's a little different.
I've had a skin tag thing there once. That hurt.
Yeah, that's not good.
Not good. Can you help me with that?
But Potentially.
Post-show.
But yeah, 99% of
Post-show.
my clients are female, and they're usually struggling with some sort of hormonal imbalances. So that's what I work with.
Of course they do. There are hormones in everything. In your food, in your water, in your medication. I mean, you have to. Women are all on something so they don't get pregnant. Then they drink water out of plastic bottles, which means they get the hormones that's in the plastic through the water. And then there's hormones in food and stuff like that. They're everywhere. Of course they have problems with the hormones. Of course they do.
And I have my personal experience because I regulated my nervous system, and now I don't deal with that.
The hat goes a long way.
Appreciate it. Yeah, the forehead.
No, not the forehead. It just balances you out.
It's the forehead.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're a
text
hat
said it's the
girl.
forehead.
I like my bucket hats, preferably. Is that like a thing in Texas? Do people wear bucket hats? Am I going to be?
It's whatever you want to be.
All right.
It's whatever you see, you're still doing a little teasy. This is a little, because dudes will go for that.
Yeah.
It's all about periods. And I don't think, here's the thing. Unfortunately, no one gives a because you're not getting views.
I'm just hoping that something, like just keeping stuff active, I never know what can happen in the future with it.
Ooh,
So
the dyed hair.
yeah, I did that for 5.5 years. That's kind of how my TikTok blew up. Because I had blue hair.
Oh.
Yeah, for a really long time. This is recent.
The crazy blue-haired girl went to become a Christian. Okay.
I know, okay. Hey.
Is that natural?
This is natural, yes.
That's natural.
I did like it. I really enjoyed it. I was a hair model, so I got paid a couple times a year to model at hair shows.
Oh, see, here. This is back on the tees.
That
like,
was a
again.
while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? And that's what dudes are. So we're not trying to sell it because this is on the tees as well. Like, what's the content we're trying to do?
I'm
okay.
Just trying to
Well, that's
cater towards
interesting.
my ladies at this point.
But are we trying to make a career after? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I have a career. I
Okay,
work-
so we're
yeah.
not trying to career on this. We
No.
want to do this. Good.
This
Good.
is side. If I got paid $10 from TikTok in the past month for starting back up.
Well done.
Thanks.
Well done.
$10.
Well done.
Yeah.
I'm being told, I guess your mom's house is this first one. So
Hey Key, hope you're doing well.
you put 70,000 down, but did you take out the mortgage or did she?
I did.
For your mom, you took out a mortgage?
Yeah, she pays sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
What
Oh.
is sometimes?
She was, and then
I love the heart of it.
I know.
One of my goals is to pay off my parents' mortgage. So, I mean, I get
Yeah.
it, but like, what the
2024, May 2024, I bought it. She paid June, July, August,
year ago.
September, and then we got hit by hurricanes, 2 hurricanes back to back.
Last year? Okay, I was going to say, because nothing's really happened this year.
Yeah, last year, and she's a full-time DJ. So she lost.
Oh, woman. Woman. Oh my god. This is so dumb.
All of her gigs for about 2 months.
What the
Yeah.
You're a full-time DJ, not reliable income, and you're getting a mortgage under your name with the expectation of her paying for it. I can see what would go wrong.
Yep.
What does she bring in normally when she has her equipment not destroyed by Helena or whatever the it last year?
4,000 to 5,000 a month.
No, this is a monthly payment of $2,421. That's insane. That's half her income. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do?
Because she's dumb. In Germany, we have a saying, when it comes to money, that's where friendship ends. And family counts in that too. When it comes to money, there's no family. Because of things like that.
Do that to yourself.
Just
What the f- was
okay.
your
Okay,
thought?
so this was my thought process. She called me one day and she said, "Hey, I'm moving from my rental and I am gonna try and save money. So I'm gonna move into a trailer park. And I have a 17-year-old sister. And I said, over my dead body, you're gonna move her into a trailer park.
But it's 1 year, right?
2 years. Back then, yeah, she was 16. So she was like a sophomore. So my mom, I didn't want her to go that route because
And the only option was, instead of maybe covering her rent for a year because you thought you were making an infinite amount of money forever, is to get into a 30-year mortgage?
Yes.
And by the way, an 8% interest rate is... That's not even where rates were.
Yeah. So it's an A-frame and it's really cute. And she said, when my...
I don't even know what the...
See? Woman. Oh, it's cute. Why does that matter? Look at the money. You know, somebody focus how women are when it comes to choosing a man. They have no clue how to deal with money. Man, those women, they're so dumb.
When my sister is out of school, we're gonna turn it into an Airbnb or a rental.
Oh, good
and we have a good amount of land.
Good luck.
To host...
Airbnb market? Yeah, you're in Florida, but guess what? Tourism market?
I disagree.
You disagree, however, metrics do not. Tourism to the United States has fallen substantially this year. Private student loan debt can be overwhelming. If you're seeking a more affordable way forward, Y-Refi is here to help. Unlike traditional lenders, Y-Refi focuses on your desire and ability to repay, not just your credit score. With guaranteed interest rates under 6%, they offer a pathway towards lower monthly payments. And Y-Refi also provides a co-signer release program, giving you and your family peace of mind. Their dedicated representatives walk you through each step, ensuring you feel supported and informed throughout the process. Thousands of clients have experienced relief, and Y-Refi's 4.6 star rating on Google speaks to their service and guidance that they provide. This is more than just refinancing. It's a chance to regain control of your financial future. If you're ready to work toward a more manageable student loan payment, visit yrefi.com. Discover how their tailored approach can reduce your stress, lower your interest, and simplify your repayment journey. Take the first step in making your private student loan debt more affordable. Go to yrefy.com, that is yrefi.com, or call 888-973-3978, that is 888-973-3978, and see how they can help you move forward with confidence.
It's a really cute rental.
Is it on the beach?
It's less than a mile from the beach. And it's right, it's like,
I mean, yeah,
a mile
you'll probably
from
get some here
downtown.
and there.
But
it's also St. Peter's.
So that one is in Tarpon Springs.
Is that where we go? Do we go to Tarpon Springs?
It's a really old Greek city, and it's super quaint for like married couples.
I'm getting a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's cute.
Okay, well done. Yeah, you got an 8% rate on this house, and I mean, you kind of suggested that she hasn't paid since last.
She paid back. So we both got a forbearance. So I got a forbearance on both properties.
Both properties? You own a house?
Oh,
For
yeah.
yourself?
Yeah, I do. So
why did I have a note you were considering moving to Texas if you have 2 houses there?
What?
That's also that's a lot to get into.
But also your job.
I work remote.
You have a house, but when did you get this house, this other house?
2023.
So that was before boobies.
Yes. That was based off of just brand deals, social media, you know.
This is so dumb.
So I was doing pretty well, and then I got a lot of money, and I spent it really fast.
Like the irresponsible child you are. If I would get so much money, I would be sitting here panicking, thinking about what to do with all the money. Because I never had so much money. I would not go and just spend it. Because that's dumb.
It's all gone. It has to be.
It's all gone.
Because there's nowhere on the show unless you have substantial debt. Okay.
So she paid up until, well, like we took out the forbearance, then she was behind, but then she ended up reconciling that in the springtime. She was ahead, she was on time. And then July, August, September, she did not pay.
This year.
And
now what?
Why not?
Now what?
The only reason I was able to reconcile July, August was because my grandmother sold her house for cash and she gifted me. Yeah.
What?
Why?
I didn't have the money. My mom didn't either.
Well, why'd your grandma gift her own money? She gifted you the payments for the mortgage?
Yeah, July, August.
Are you going to sell? Why are you moving to Texas?
So it's a lower cost of living. And I also, I said a prayer and I said, God, I'll go wherever you want me to go. And he pointed Fort Worth out to me. And I just,
What? How?
It's a whole thing. So I have a tenant renting out.
Fort Worth?
Yeah. I don't know what's in Fort Worth.
The rodeo and...
Yeah, it seems nice.
That's a drivable infrastructure.
Yeah. So
So
I have 2 properties. I'm a little bit, it feels drowning. Yeah, very much.
Well, I think Brandon from Fort Worth, the translator of the show, you know him, was quite interested until he heard all the Christian prayer stuff because dude needs to stick it in order for him to...
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's a deal breaker.
Continue it. Yeah, sticking it in?
Yeah, it's a deal breaker for me.
We wait till marriage.
Yes.
You too.
Now, is she a virgin? I bet you she ain't. I bet she ain't.
Okay.
Okay.
Good luck, guys. We'll send you on a vlog date after this.
Great.
Well done. Maybe if you're lucky, Brandon, by the 3rd date, you'll get a handheld.
Maybe.
It's so interesting because you literally were posting, like, it had to be like a half an inch away from full hold exposure in areola.
I didn't even do like really provocative poses or anything.
Okay. And then mom's house, we still want to keep it?
Trying, yeah.
With mom staying in there? So you said move out once. Where's she apparently supposed to go post sister moving out?
That we don't know. I think she wants to buy a van and do van life.
Wow, that's retarded. Mom, she sounds so weird for an older person.
Yeah.
Like if it was
she's
you.
weird.
It's yeah.
What are you showing me?
Like the.
Keep in mind, we have not heard one word about her father. I wonder why that is. I wonder why. Oh, is she the daughter of a single mother? That would explain why she's such a failure.
Skin issues is from, we have an interesting dynamic. So like I'm pretty much the mom and she's pretty much, yeah. So when you hear us on the phone talking, you'd be like, I don't know who's who, kind of. I give a lot of advice.
So her mother is retarded. Her mother is retarded. Okay, yeah, that's what I would expect from a woman that's a DJ in that age. Yeah, and being unmarried. Yeah.
Try not to lecture her because then she gets really mad.
Well, yeah, I don't think parents like that from kids.
Yeah.
Specifically. I guess we'll look at the grandma's house first, and then we'll get into these other statements, not grandma's, mom's house, and then we have a lot of credit cards to go through. But $6,000 is what comes in. Yeah, I would say if you have to make a $2,500 payment on one house, and then you have another house as well, and we're trying to move. When are you moving to Fort Worth by?
September 27th. I'm driving out here.
It's official.
Yeah.
Wait,
I have
we're
a place.
in September.
I have a place.
This is in 10 days.
Yes.
Wait, what the?
Wow.
Why?
What do you, I'm flying back and then I'm driving out here.
Why do you have to do this now?
Because that's timeline.
No,
I have a tenant for my place. And I'm paying less.
Identical to what you make.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, compared to payroll, you actually spent $400 more than you make.
Yeah.
You have substantial debt, not mortgages. We're talking over...
Other debt, bad debt. Wait, what?
Yeah.
You have substantial...
Other debt. Almost $500,000. Mortgages, almost 200K. Mortgage 1, almost 200. Second mortgage, 260. Wells Fargo Reflect Visa, 10K. Okay, yeah.
Debt, not mortgages. We're talking over $20,000. All debt combined, we're talking almost...
Oh, credit cards. Oh, woman.
It's $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, no, because there is an additional Chase Inc. card with $9,000, and then Wells Fargo $10,500. Wells Fargo bank card $1,500. Where are you moving?
Because I have a tenant who's taking over my mortgage.
No, literally, how? You don't have the money. I think that's the thing. How are you even able to do that?
And I am moving into a place that's
hopefully,
cheaper.
if there's no expenses that pop up, do you have a rental property management company?
I don't, but my neighbor...
Oh, your neighbor?
no.
Your neighbor what?
She's really reliable with stuff if I need her over there in like 2 minutes.
Oh, you're...
Yeah, so Fort Worth.
No, she isn't. She's a woman. When was the last time you met a woman that's reliable?
My rent here is $1,300, and my tenants are paying $2,000 at my home. So I am going to be spending significantly.
Her parents?
Home. So I am going to be spending significantly less.
Just don't get it. Away from...
My tenants are paying $2,000 at my home. So I am going to be is $1,300, and my tenants are paying $2,000 at my...
What?
She's really reliable with stuff if I need her over
I'm trying to figure out if she said her parents.
there in like 2 minutes.
Oh, you're...
Yeah, so Fort Worth. My rent here is $1,300, and my tenants are paying $2,000 at my home. So I am going to be spending
She didn't said parents, she said tenants. Okay. I just wanted to say, yeah, this single mother, daughter, yeah.
significantly less.
Just don't get it. Away
living
from
here.
the beach, away from the tropic, away from the food.
No, it's
to
devastating.
Fort Worth.
I love St. Pete.
Maybe your prayer was wrong and you needed a second one.
Don't think so. The living situation I got here is pretty great.
Yes, because no one wants to live there. It's out of desperation.
No, not at all.
Come on.
Okay, but it was nice not having the finances to be able to go on Airbnb. So I found the place I'm staying on Airbnb. Host. It's a 4-bedroom. I do have 3 roommates, but they're all awesome. So I'm happy about it. I like being with people. I'm
What
an
if one's a
extrovert.
gay?
So?
New Age Christian.
No.
Oh.
I love everybody.
But when they bring over a flap to flap with?
Just because I don't agree with someone's lifestyle
There
doesn't
it
mean I'm
is.
gonna be.
There it is.
Yeah.
Fire and brimstone.
So she is not really a Christian.
Are you trying to like classify the type of Christianity based on, okay.
No, I'm f***ing with you. But you're also going to be living in a roommate situation, going from owning a house to living in a roommate situation.
Yeah.
So.
Trust me, I fuck with everyone. I fuck with the Christians, I fuck with the gays, I fuck with the blacks, I fuck with the Mexicans, I fuck with everyone.
I know. So the cool thing is, the first 6 months of this year, I hosted workstay volunteers in my house. So I was living with people anyways.
You say these people are great. How much do you know about them?
I just met them. I really enjoy their company. We have similar values.
Is it 3 women?
Yeah.
3 hardcore Christian women.
Yeah.
Oh, Fort Worth, ladies and gentlemen.
Living together with 3 women? What? What's going on?
We get along. We've had sleepover parties already. Some friends have come over from one of the girls.
Christian women having sleepover parties.
I can guarantee you that they hate each other. How do I know they're women?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, a financial audit. This is one of the most exciting moments in this channel's history. You know I've been working on building all these educational tools, our budget, and now we the premium get to learn. It's all the industry more I've done below. You can reach.
They made cookies. That's about it. That's all we got.
Taste of the cookie.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I would like to see.
So Yes, it's a good situation. I'm happy with it. And I'm going to be spending less money out here than I would at home. Granted, I would love to
I
go back
hope
to
so.
St.
You'll
Pete.
be depressed in your car-infested infrastructure that the only thing you'll want to do is escape and go spend money. Or order things to your house.
There's trails, there's lakes. I walk. I watch the sunset, like relatively.
The sun always sets, no matter where you are.
Yeah, so we're good. I got things to occupy me. It's fine. I'll be fine.
That happens once a day, by the way, and it's usually late.
Yeah.
What do you think your finances are? Score 0 to 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best.
Like a 2 just because I have real estate.
You do have real estate. I don't know. Well, let's see if it's even good real estate, though. I mean, that's the big question. Okay, if you want to know where you stand in the world of finances and if you should start an OF, go to calebhammer.com. Take the finance.
Man, so many ads. I think this is the 4th so far. Jesus.
The Hammer Financial Score quiz. See where you stand, where you need to improve, where you need to do better. It is free, only takes a few minutes. And also, if you don't want to be like a guest who shows up on this show and has to start an OF to pay their bills, make sure you download the DollarWise budgeting app. That's what this show is powered by. It is my preferred and favorite budgeting app. Take the free trial, and if you like it, sign up for the annual version to save a lot of money. And when you do, I'll sign my budget-friendly cookbook and mail it directly to you, and there's only a couple months of that left, and then they're going to go away forever. DollarWise.com to learn more. All right, so again, this mom house. Let's write down the deck, because this is a situation. I'm going to have you pull up the address while I write down the information.
Okay. Beautiful.
You allowed to use screens in your denomination?
Yes.
What denomination are you? I was raised Wesleyan.
I don't
think it's
really
Midwest.
have a denomination, but I would say I'm more Pentecostal.
Is that stoning the gays, or is that bringing them in?
It's like just very spiritual, like
hippie.
Just
I told you, not Christian. This is literal Satanism. She's just a heretic. She pretends to be a Christian, but she isn't.
You know, the Pentecostals speak in tongues. Yeah, they pray very charismatically, and they believe in healing, and like all the things
Well,
that
except for
were
the
back
tongue
then.
thing, it sounds like Christianity, but
Yeah,
you're just making sounds, perhaps?
I don't know. I don't do it.
May you make a sound for us right now?
I don't know what to do. They just like, I don't know. It sounds like they know what they're doing.
I just love an example.
Bro.
What have you heard before?
Just Google it, Jude. Just Google it.
Bro. Like they just go and they like move their tongue really fast.
What is that doing?
And it's apparently speaking in the heavenlies and like
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
to the heavenly realms. And let's say you were prophesying or talking to someone or praying over someone in a different language, they may be able to understand what they are saying or be able to feel the Holy Spirit more through that. I don't know. That's the one like debatable. I'm not quite sure. I haven't
There is no debate. That's nonsense.
researched it that much, but I've been around people that speak in tongues. I've been to Pentecostal churches where they're all like going for it. And it's an interesting experience. It's pretty powerful.
Good.
His face says everything.
Tongue practice
Yeah.
for the sleepovers.
Great.
It's weird. I don't know. Again, I was raised Wesleyan. I don't know what religion I am. I'm a believer of God. It's very interesting.
What's
like,
Wesleyan?
That's where I am. I think it's Midwest. I don't know, like a sub-denomination. That's just what I was raised. But I've never heard of like da-da-da-da-da.
I don't know. I didn't go to the church to find a denomination. I
Okay,
just
here's
read.
Mom's house. It looks like something out of a
It's a little fairy home.
Tim Horton movie.
It's cute.
Cute is luckily a subjective word. Yeah,
That wasn't a good reaction.
It is definitely a form of an A.
Yeah. It has a
Yeah.
balcony in the back. It's a 2-story.
Brandon?
It's cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
lots of.
And that is why you don't allow women to, make decisions on their own because they're so bad at it.
Questionable reactions. Also, especially for the renting and the Airbnb, looking at the street view and stuff, it looks just like a very trashy area. Is that where someone's going to want an Airbnb?
I don't think it's trashy. The houses on the street are pretty nice. Like in the neighborhood.
Dude, I'm doing street view around it. It looks like a trailer park.
Yeah, there's a trailer park nearby.
Also, it's close to the bayou, not even the ocean, right?
It's close to the ocean, Sunset, and Fred Howard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's an equity position in the house, thank goodness, but that's mostly because you put it down. Other than what you put down, what did you buy it for?
$327.
Well, that's what it's worth, apparently. So good luck if you have to sell this, because you will lose money after fees and whatnot and closing costs and all the goodies.
Yeah, really.
Hope you don't. But again, where's Mama gonna go? Did you answer that?
A van.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay, and that's certain that you're gonna be able to rent this house out and not pay this mortgage. She's agreed to this.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just, yeah. So we're caught up to September, but the grace period was September 15th. And I texted her yesterday, and we have not paid the mortgage for September. So there's another, it's a
Should have texted her earlier.
$95 late fee every couple weeks until she pays it.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Till she pays it, and you're not going to because you don't have the money, right?
Right.
What the fuck
Sister doesn't work, and she doesn't work.
Well, that's fine. I mean, your sister's not necessarily required to. It's good to get some work experience, but
yeah,
you're behind. Total due 5,000. Sake.
So that was covered.
Oh, so 2 months.
Yeah, but now it's not again.
Right.
So we're about to have a double payment again, and Grandma's not going to give it this time. This is...
It's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
Woman.
Wait long enough without someone coming in to bail, and you lose the house, and that 70's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. If worst case scenario, I am going to have to make a tough decision and get renters in there that will actually pay. My relationship with my mom has been rocky.
Maybe,
I really don't want to have to do that.
Sister's there, and
it's
again,
hard.
the mom relationship.
Why do you gift your mother a house when your relationship to your mother is rough? Why is it that women always make the worst decisions when it comes to money? Oh, right, because they're retarded. Man.
Are you gonna kick her out?
Right.
Are you?
I really hope it doesn't get to that point.
And then there's your house, and then we'll get into the, juicy debt specifically. But if we're talking about the, obviously these are massive expenses, and we're moving to Fort Worth. How did the Fort Worth come to you?
I prayed about it, and then as I was going to sleep, I heard a voice that told me. Well, it was my voice. It wasn't like a deep, dark, mysterious voice.
Well, that's a very normal thing when you go to sleep to hear a voice.
Yes.
You're in that mixture between dream space and space
beta.
especially when you're very stressed. That could be a common thing that pops up. I mean, it's rare, but it's a normal thing.
Yeah. So there was a location, and then it was like confirmations over the past couple of months. I didn't actually seek out tenants.
Targeted ads after you searched Fort Worth?
No, like more physical, because I was serving with my church, and I was in a kitchen helping refurnish.
You are a woman.
Yes. And I went down, and
she likes it. She's a trad Christian.
I saw a book, and it was from the woman that we were refurnishing the house for, and it was a Bible study, and at the bottom there was a location of the ministry that it was from, and it was Fort Worth, Texas. And then after that, I kind of started to research Fort Worth, and I'm like, okay, I could, if I'm gonna...
Oh, I could live on a highway. Yay.
I could live there if I had to. So then I said, all right, well...
What argument is this? I could live there if I had to. If I had to, I could live in a cave. What is this argument?
Well, I'm not going to look for tenants if this is really where I'm supposed to end up. I know that God will provide me a tenant. And within 3 weeks, one of my old friends who I recently reconnected with reached out to me looking for a place in St. Pete. And lo and behold, she ended up signing the lease a few weeks later. And in that meantime, I found the place that I'm living now. And if, for what it's worth, my neighbor parks 2 vans on my front yard.
Oh,
$200
you're not
extra a
selling
month.
it. Oh, if it's that kind of neighborhood. Okay, on this house you owe $193,480.45.
Oh, God.
Monthly payment $1,705.41. I've also come to the light.
You have?
I've come to the light.
Okay. Yeah.
Total debt 453,000 and a half, basically.
But man, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember Bino?
I really wasn't. I was in a long-term relationship.
Oh, you should have been a.
I had like 1 hookup.
That's a single.
So she isn't a virgin, but she's waiting for marriage, right?
One experience, and then was like, no, not for me.
Listen,
you know?
they use someone hears now and they hear insulting, but I love being so much fun. It's like it's a praise, honestly. If you call me
yeah,
that means I was getting laid, right?
There's actually a biblical term.
Sure, I bet. What does it mean? Amazing man.
Sure, we'll go with that. Yeah, I believe you were and still are.
No, I've become a better man.
Mm-hmm. Wanted a family.
I do want a family.
Yeah.
Barely equity position in this house. But what did you put down on it? What did you buy this for?
I bought it for $247.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's barely gone up. So you're probably, again, if you had to sell this today, you would lose money. What's your rent? Hi, listen here, financial audit. I've curated the.
To be fair, I thought this audit would be way more funny. We are 41 minutes in and I'm kind of bored. This is not a train wreck, so it's not fun. Financial audits are only fun when you are a train wreck. Two unavailable videos are hidden. Great. Great. To be fair, I'm way too tired to pay real attention at this point. Man, I'm so tired. You know what? I have a plan. It just... Yeah. Cold. Almost clicked on the Discord I shouldn't show. Okay, I have a plan. I have a plan for one more video. Is it here? It's here. Did we take this photo? Yes, we take this photo. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you an actual doll. An actual doll shed. Now we are talking about love dolls. And yes, this is not a person. That's a doll. A doll. Brand is called Real Lady, and they make some incredibly realistic looking silicone ones. Let's wait a little bit music, because why not? Okay, so there are fundamentally two materials dolls are made of: silicone and TPE. TPE is thermoplastic elastane. And if you have zero interest in photography and don't need realism, you just go with TPE. Now, if you are into photography and into, you know, realism, silicon. Why? Because they have literal skin texture on them. This one, we can't see anything. That the photo is not close up enough. But she has. I can tell you because I know the brand. I don't have one yet. Well, from that brand, but you know. And now let's actually talk about some interesting stuff about them. For example, I know of no black dude that has a black doll. I've never seen a black guy having a black doll, ever. Ever. All dolls of black dudes that I have seen were all white or Asian. And the only people that had black dolls, white dudes. And I so far have not found any any exception of that. So I know black women will get really angry about this, but yeah, black men don't want black love dolls. I wonder why. I wonder why. Isn't this funny? And also, you know, in the eye of the public, oh, people that own a doll, they're all rapists. They're trying how to rape a woman with those dolls. A lot of the people that own dolls are actually married. I'm I have a private Discord account, and I'm in Discords because I have dolls, and so I'm, you know. And I've met a lot of couples that own dolls, or people that only own dolls for photography. That's actually quite common. Now, of course, some dudes only have them for, you know, the very obvious reasons. The very, very obvious reasons. Very, very obvious. I mean, if you see them naked, you know. Because they just look like women. And what do men want? Woman. But yes. It's actually very common for people that are into photography to get a doll. Because that's less expensive than, you know, hiring a model. Which also is risky because, oh my god, you want me to be scantily clothed? Oh my god, that's so... You harass me. With them, you don't have that problem. And also, what I found, you know, that a lot of people that were married, men that were married, that either got divorced or are widowers, they have a doll because they don't want to get into a new relationship because they're done with that. Or people like me who are traumatized by women and, you know, get some, and then they all of a sudden, oh, so I can feel good having sex. Nice. Which for me was very, 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 very interesting to realize that, you know, I can actually have fun having sex. Because I never had. Even if I objectively had good sex, I never had fun. Man, that sounds so wrong. Oh, I said the S word. I guess I have to censor that by editing. I thought this would be way more interesting to talk about, but I'm already done. Maybe it's because no one is in chat, so it's boring. But yeah, that's fundamentally it. Ow! Yeah, I think we are at a point where I can call it a day, because there's no one here anyways. And I can lay down because I'm in pain. Oh man, I think I'm getting sick again. Well, I gotten sick again. I was last weekend, and I feel like I'm it already again, which sucks. I had plans for next week. Guess they have to wait, and I will just edit videos the next 2 days. We will see. But yeah, let's call it a day. Ow. Maybe I do the laundry, even if it's Sunday. It should be fine. So I think I will actually stream on Tuesday, but I'm not 100% sure what we're gonna do. On Wednesday, 100% we playing Half-Life Opposing Force. I want to finish that, but seeing where I am stuck right now, yeah, might be hard. Yeah. For everyone else, see you in the comments. Bye bye. And now we end all the shit. No, not that shit. The other shit.